myself.
2019 finals being streamed by Bladecast TV. I'm Thunder Bayu. I'm joined by Gibby. How's it going?
I am doing great, and I'm incredibly excited. More excited than I've ever been for an NC match, I'm going to be honest. Doesn't normally excite me, but this particular finals, I'm actually really excited for. NA versus France.
In a sense, it's your brother nation, Canada.
Exactly.
Against your mortal enemy, France.
Yeah, I am obviously supporting the Canadian Warriors. Guac, of course. Yoshi, French-Canadian. Bit of tension there, I think, but...
He's half and half. We may see a mutiny mid-match.
Yeah, Alice actually French, isn't he? So
right, yeah. Who knows? Maybe there's
a lot of tension in this one. Yeah,
it's a bit sour between the teams. But to talk about these two teams, I mean, NA's first ever NC Finals appearance. Yeah. France, a former winner back in 2012, I think.
I think it was 2012, yeah.
Yeah, former winner, but that was completely different time for France, running a lot of the Renegades guys from the past. This is like a new age French team, and tell me a bit about them.
I think Peter is the only French player, actually, that was part of that roster that won in 2012 and is still here. I'm pretty sure he was playing with them, but Peter, though, obviously one of the key players for France this year. And do you remember, of course, the match we streamed before? We streamed Turkey versus France, and Maximu and Brian in that match were absolutely incredible. If you remember, I think it was like the French team was up 2 rounds, and Maximu and Brian had like 80% of the kills or something in one set.
Mm-hmm.
The two of them have been playing incredibly well, and then obviously Peter always does well. Thor on the French side. Paolo's been, I think he's top on the assists in the entire NC. He doesn't have that many kills, but he's like, he's landing shots consistently. Swap, a lesser-known French cavalry player. I think he played a bit for Unity 2, but he's actually been playing really well for France this time around. And then, of course, Vincent Moose as infantry. Moose a bit of experience with Unity. Vince a bit less experience, but definitely the French core revolves around Brian, Thor, Peter, and Maximu. Those 4 players, I'm pretty sure they're top of the stats. The 4 of them been popping off every match, and every match for France that I've seen, they've been topping the scoreboards pretty much.
And for France in particular, I mean, you could knock them and say they don't really only have 4 good players, but these aren't just really good players. These guys are probably on a level almost like unheard of for one team. These 4 guys are playing so good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the real thing that's quite incredible is that 3 of them, Peter, Brian, and Thor, are on that level in 2 classes at the same time. The 3 of them are playing top level cav and top level infantry, and they're switching between them whenever France needs. And that's France's their main strength and their main weakness is that flexibility. That their three best cavalry and infantry players, they have to commit them to one class or to the other. And that's a strength because it means they can field really strong cav or really strong infantry, but it's a weakness because they can't do both at once.
Well, from what we've been seeing is that Brian's been playing mainly cav on the closed maps, opposed to Peter, and then Swap's actually been doing quite a good complementary role.
Yeah, exactly. Swap, I would say in the past, when I've seen him play, he's been too aggressive and sort of getting himself killed early, things like that. But this time around with France, I think he's had some coaching, presumably from the other French cavalry players who have sort of helped him calm down a bit, be a bit less reckless, and that's really helped him this tournament. He's been doing a good job as their final cavalry player.
I think a guy like Peter really wraps this whole team up together. Most of these guys from the Unity core, also, like we've always known they're very skilled, but they've always had a problem just performing the big moment. And I think a guy like Peter, who's probably been to more big moments than most of us in our whole Warband careers, is really like tying the knot and putting the bow on this team.
No, I definitely agree with you. Peter, he's really good for the motivation of the team, and he brings so much experience to the table. It's so hard for him to tilt as well. He's always calm, focused, and wanting to win. So I imagine he's going to be really big for France in this match, particularly if they end up losing some rounds maybe on their home side. You could the match begins on the home server. Although I imagine we'll get into that later. But if they lost rounds in the first set, for instance, on their home side, someone like Peter would do a really good job of sort of motivating them past that and helping them carry on.
And you just got to look at it from a purely like gameplay point of view. Having probably the best player in the game on your team has to be reassuring. You're like, you know what, no matter what, this guy's going to be there. He's going to be playing good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, from my experience playing on teams with Peter on them, you always feel reassured by his presence. And I mean, this French side, they've been doing it. All the matches. Obviously, they beat the UK in the semi-finals. They beat Turkey in the quarterfinals. They haven't had an easy run through the tournament, but the French side they've pulled through every single time, and it's going to be really hard for NA to take them on in this finals.
Now, if we switch the focus onto the NA team, I think maybe the NA team is a different story in that I think that their team is more well-rounded, but they don't really shine in one particular class as powerfully as the French do, for example.
No, I agree with you. Yeah.
And
Well,
who
the one
would you
thing I
look for
would
on the
say,
NA team, for example?
right,
Who would you look for to play well?
I mean, if we base it on the semi-final performance where NA managed to defeat Poland, which was a brilliant match, by the way, in that final set, it all came down to those. Well, I mean, Guak played a brilliant job surviving as infantry for one, but the space that he created, the people that capitalized on it, it was the NA archers. Alice and Lagstro in that final set on the Poland home server, they were playing so well with the high ping as archers. And I mean, we were just going on about how good Maximus been playing, Paolo hitting all these shots, top on the assists. But honestly, I mean, they've got good contests. Alice and Lagstro, if they play like they did in the last match against Poland, I mean, they might even be doing better than Maximum Paolo. So
Playing against Lagstro for a couple years now, obviously he's been one of the most consistent and best shooters in North America. Even with that high ping, it doesn't really phase him too much. He still plays incredibly well. And Alice, who's relatively newer to the NA scene, used to be EU, he's pretty much unreal in terms of like archers I played against. He's easily the most annoying I've ever played against, and I am looking at them to play huge. I'm also looking towards Cow, who had a good performance against Poland, I believe. He's going to be playing Cav, and I think for NA it might be tough, especially on the EU sets, to play against this French Cav. I mean, Peter, he has his antics and stuff, but I think that French Cav is incredibly good, incredibly intimidating. So
yeah,
I don't really know if the NA Cav fielded will be good enough.
yeah, it's definitely an issue they might have. So looking at the NA side, I guess they'll have Cow, PPK playing as their main two cavalry. They've got Surge as well, who can be quite reckless. But I imagine it. I don't know how many Cav NA are fielding, but they've got a Porter and Yoshi can do cavalry as well. If they need four. But I mean, like you say, the NA team probably more rounded than the French team, but lacking maybe that star power cavalry. Cow, as you say, doing really well. But other than that, I mean, PPK is good at Cav as well, but as you say, maybe not the same star power.
I think the game changes. You can be an all right Cav, but when you're playing against other Cav who are very skilled and not just like one or two, you're playing against like 3, 4 in case of the French. It changes the game. Like these Cav won't let you, be comfortable. You don't really get those easy hits in the back. You're getting shot at by a guy like Maximum and Paulo. So I'm looking at the NA Cav. They have to really perform here. It's going to be important because that French Cav is so strong, and those range troops on the French side are strong. But this does leave the opening on the North American side, where I think their inf is actually better.
I have to agree with you. I mean, like we say, when it comes to the closed map, we have to say what if they use, if they're using Peter and Thorad's infantry, that sort of rounds up the French infantry side more. But on the open map, I think you're absolutely right. I imagine NA, if they've got like, Guac and a Porter, for instance, playing infantry for NA on the open, I would say that's better, quite a bit better than Vincent Moose playing infantry.
I'd still even look on the closed map, guys like Guac, Porta, Yoshi, because at the end of the day, the French side, like you said, they have to sacrifice one of those 3 guys to play Cav on the closed map, and Guac is probably the most skilled 1v1 guy in North America, and probably he ranks pretty well even in E.
No, you're absolutely right, and the NA infantry side they've got more they can field there. A Porto, Guac, Kel, Yoshi, PPK. That's 5 really high quality NA infantry that they can field. Whereas, as like we've mentioned, the French side having to sacrifice, maybe Brian's playing Cav, Peter might be playing Cav, we don't know. But they have to sacrifice some of their best infantry to play Cav. Whereas NA, with the more rounded roster, they can field their star cavalry and their star infantry at the same time.
So I guess we can kind of agree on that North America should have the advantage on a closed map, or maybe you're saying open map because their inf will be superior on the open map.
Right, but even if the NA infantry is a bit better on the open map, they've still got to contend with that French cavalry side. So I do expect that France have the advantage on the open maps. Yeah.
And now looking at home away, it's going to be France starting at home in UK, where most of those guys probably get very good ping. I mean, Brian's right here, 16 ping. That's unreal in terms of warband ping. Peter, 9. Yeah, like, this is good ping for the French team. I don't think the North American side gets as good ping in North America, but in my eyes, the advantage is to actually have those 2 sets in a row at home. Because
Yeah,
you
I
pick up
agree.
rounds there, and then the pressure's on the other team to usually 3-0 in their home set. So you're more susceptible to mistakes.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean the NA side, some of them affected by quite high ping, but they've got some people with about 80, Alice and Yoshi, I think, with a solid 80. And then some of them sitting sort of
Right, and
mid
Cal on a
90s
port
and
with
some a bit
90.
up. So I think with the NA side, I think what they'll have to do, I mean, inevitably in home away, you have to rely on your lower ping guys to do the heavy lifting, and your higher ping guys sort of take a back seat and just don't die. um, but in the case of NA, that's all right because I think the star NA players do have the lower ping out on the NA side, except for Lagstrobe. But Cow, he's got under 100, a Porter under 100, Yoshi under 100, Alice under 100. They can still do work with that on the away side.
And even a guy like Guac, he's been playing in EU for a long
Oh
time. I
yeah, I
don't think
mean
it phases him too much.
Guac is I think the most experienced NA in EU. Like he is the American player that's played the most in EU probably. Obviously he's played various clan tournaments, loads of NCs. He's played quite a bit in warband matchmaking in EU
Yeah,
as well.
Guac and
And he
myself and
always
Aporta, we had a legendary victory in 2017 against Poland ourselves.
yeah, I do remember that. And yeah, so Guac, I mean, he always seems to pull it out in NCs, doesn't he? On the away side, he always seems to do well on the away side in NCs. So
I think a big reason for that is the dueling experience he has in EU. He has awareness obviously, but his ability to actually compete at an extremely high level in 1v1. A lot of the times you think, oh, he has higher ping, he's trash, I'll just hilt spam him. But Guax, he's not gonna really just go down to that stuff.
absolutely,
I
I
think he
agree.
surprised a lot of people. Oh, a lot of people are leaving the server.
Yeah, they might be checking the pings on the other server. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, I have no idea. I'm just assuming, but yeah, we'll see. But mm,
And for the French
no.
side, I mean, most of those guys will be getting. I mean, Brian, Thor, Peter, Max Moon, notoriously, they get super low ping in North America.
Yeah, it's a Virginia server though, isn't it? Not a New York server.
Yeah,
So
so it'll be a bit worse, but Virginia's
we'll
still
have to see.
relatively
I
close.
imagine 90 to 100 is probably what most of the French players will have.
Yeah.
Probably a couple of them over 100. Swap, for instance, I think doesn't have great internet. I think he'll be over 100, but yeah, probably about 100 for the NA for the French ping. Sorry, on the away.
In terms of the stories that the paths both these teams have taken, who do you think really gets like the more? Who's the underdog right now in your eyes?
So I have to say that the NA team is the underdog. I think the pressure's more. Well, I mean, in some ways the pressure's more on them, in some way the pressure's less on them, right? Because the pressure's more on them because it's the first time NA's ever made it to a finals. So some of them are going to be thinking that. But the pressure's less on them because I think people had less expectations for them going through the whole tournament, don't you think?
Yeah,
People didn't really have put much, expectation on the NA side. No one thought they were going to make the final. No one thought they would make the semifinals even. But here they are, and I think in some ways that takes the pressure off. In some way, it puts the pressure on more. I think it just depends on the individuals there. I think the French side, I think they're going to be confident. I think they expect to win, and I do think they are the favorites with the rosters. But I don't think it's it's going to be a good match either way. But I don't. I think both teams need to be careful not to dismiss the other one.
I think for the French side, well, I mean, it's similar to the NA side, even though, right, like maybe our NA tournaments aren't on the same level as the U, but we do have a lot of final experience on this NA team. Guac been to multiple finals, Yoshi's been to a final, Porta's been to finals. You play with KOB and WPL, won with us in UNAC.
Yeah.
Lagstar, obviously, one of the most winning players in North American history, PBK as well. Cow, I'm not sure if he's ever been. Kel, not sure either, but a lot of these guys on the North American team, a lot of experience too. I don't know if the pressure of the finals will get to them as much as we've seen to get to the French players in the past.
Yeah, I mean the French Unity. Everyone, I think it's a bit of a meme. Everyone says Unity always choke, don't they? And they definitely have choked in the past in finals, in semi-finals even. But like I say, having Peter on the team, it does bring the morale up a lot, and I mean, we'll have to see, right? If the first set starts going to, if NA start winning rounds in the first set, even when it's away
That's
for
brutal.
them,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that could probably tilt the French guys.
I think that is the key. Like, I mean, getting wins on that first set is huge because then you go home, should be easy to clean up too. And then, like I said, I think the advantage is for NA starting in EU and then going to play 2 at home, and just having to close it out on like foreign turf.
Yeah, I think I would prefer that as well.
I'm not sure what the commotion is right now. I think
Yeah, there seem to be some problems going on with deciding where they're going to play, quite possibly.
Yeah.
We're on a UK server right now. French guys possibly insisting on a French server. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see.
I think that'd be a bit absurd, personally. I don't think the NA guys are getting very good ping on their own server comparatively to most of these guys getting 16. So.
I think what's probably happening is the NA guys are going to go on the French server, and they're probably going to compare pings and decide based on the averages.
Right.
It looks like the NA guys are leaving the server now, presumably going to check their pings on a different server.
No, I don't think any NA guys can get better ping on a French server than NA for the most part, or UK. I mean.
Yeah, I agree. And the French guys will probably have like, well, some of them will get
5.
under, some of them get like 10 ping, yeah, under for 10 even. So I think UK is probably fairest for this match, but we'll see.
Well, especially considering that most of the French guys will get some extremely good ping in North America, so.
Yeah, but I guess they're just gonna go and check. Switching server, I'm gonna try and find out which server they swap to.
Right.
Presumably
So,
they're going. I don't know if they've agreed on Steam to play on a French server or if they've just gone to check their pings. But
so there's some French guys on a North American server.
presumably they're checking their ping there, and the NA team has all joined France French server. Yeah, honestly the pings, they don't look that much different. The NA pings are a bit worse here though, definitely.
I mean, just peeking into this, I believe they're going to start the match in North America East too.
They're starting in North America.
Yeah. So here, taking a look at these pings for the French guys, it's looking good. Maximum 92, Peter 95, Thor 90, Brian 91. Oh, that's a change of pace actually. Usually Brian gets a better ping in North America by 1. But yeah, a lot of good ping. Paulo 86. Yeah, a lot of good pings. Oh, I believe the server is passwordless. So we're going to need an admin to come.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on right now. Everyone's changing servers, complaining about the pings, trying to decide where they want to play. So
very awkward. It looks like the French want to start on North America, presumably for the same reason why I said it'd probably be more advantageous.
Yeah. I imagine all of this is being sorted out on Steam by the captains.
Yeah, I'd assume so. Already some cries in chat for the admins shafting a North American team. Somebody suggested we play in Moscow.
That sounds fair to me. Play in Siberia.
300
Siberia,
ping for all.
even 300 ping for all, yeah.
Or maybe we should just do as Fieta said, and we play the whole match in UK.
Yeah, that interesting
approach. Yeah, very fairness and pings, high fairness. So I'm kind of confused at what's going on right now. It seems like no one is actually. Paulo's setting up all the settings for the server, as we have done none of that in the past.
Yeah, I'm suggesting to Watley that they check the averages and do this fairly, because realistically, the only way to do this fairly is to get everyone to join one server, take a screenshot, do an average. Everyone to join another, take a screenshot, do the averages.
Well, our American servers are limited, and I think UK is the more fair choice comparatively to France.
I agree, and that's not only because the NA pings are slightly lower on the UK than the French side, but it's because if you have a French server, the French guys are going to have incredibly low ping.
Yeah.
and I don't think it's fair for them to play against the French side where everyone's got 10 ping.
Let alone the French already have low enough ping on the UK server. I don't think they necessarily need 10 lower.
Yeah, I would definitely think it's a bit unfair if they force this without checking the averages, because that's the only way to do it fairly. But you know, there's been some other controversy around Watley's decision making in this tournament so far. But you know,
Now, there's a
we'll
lot
have
of
to see.
controversy about the North America versus Poland match, but I mean, when you look at the screenshots, when you look at the ping, there's nothing much to be said there. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it
like a
wasn't
5 ping
the
difference.
Polish guys had a bit worse. I think it was 5 to 10 average was worse, but it's not a big deal.
The match was lost fair and square in my eyes.
No, I
Not
have to
because I'm North
agree.
American, but just as a warband.
Yeah, but I definitely don't think that. I mean, if we're looking at the NA pings here, you know, then some of these players got about the same. Like Alice's ping's about the same. Yoshi's ping's actually worse by like 10. Cow's is worse by like 5. The difference isn't that much for NA, but even still, just the fact that all of the French team is going to be under 100 probably on the away side.
For the most part, from what I see right now, we have Maximu, Peter, Thor, Brian, Paulo, and Vince all under 100. Only Torin and Mouse with 116 and 105,
Yeah.
respectively. Yeah, that's really good if you look at it from an away set. That's very playable.
Yeah, whereas the NA team is a bit more inconsistent. They've got like 2 players that get 80, and then everyone else is about 100 or more.
I think we can agree that no matter what, the ping advantage will be the French side. Most of the French guys get very good ping to any server in the EU, and most of them get very good ping to NA, where some NA guys don't get that good of a ping to their own NA servers, and obviously we won't be getting the best ping in the UK, but we're still waiting here on the East server in America.
Yeah, I'm on the French server where the NA team is. I guess there must be some discussion going on Steam right now. Unfortunately, the match is going to be delayed until they can until the teams agree on where they're going to play.
Come to an agreement, it seems.
Yeah, personally, I think that NA East Coast and then UK is fair. I think that's fair. I think the ping averages are probably about equal, actually, if that's the case. But the French guys perhaps not willing to let that stand.
Now I don't know what if the forums had any sort of indication of who would start where.
I've seen nothing on the forums about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
it's
just
not,
gotten
it's not.
news. Actually, I've just gotten news that Wally is enforcing France.
Well, that's a bit.
It's a bit absurd in my eyes.
Should he not? Yeah, without checking the averages as well.
So what I've just gotten news is that apparently Wally is forcing France because the French team does not unanimously agree to play in UK.
Is it in the rules that they have to play France?
I'm not sure. I don't know if there really are rules written for the home away.
There's no. Yeah, there's nothing in the rules about enforcing France. I don't.
So this is admin discretion, but I think by the same token, it can't be agreed upon by the North Americans should have saying this too. You can't just let them play on France. The ping advantage is obviously in the French favor, even with UK. So
I'm not sure if that's the case. I think with UK it's about even. What was the? Sorry, I'm just gonna go and check what the ping average was in the last match for NA.
Did they play in UK in the last match?
I think they played Germany in the last one. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna go and have a look at that because I think it was Shema posted the ping averages. So I'm just gonna go and have a check and try and work that out.
A wise man in chat said force Chicago servers. Then that would be interesting.
I mean, to be honest, that would be more fair in terms of ping averages. Honestly,
I mean, the French would still
actually
get very good ping. The French would still get very good ping.
Yeah, more like 110, 120. But I can't find that post actually with the averages. Let me go somewhere else. But yeah, I don't agree with Watley forcing France, especially without checking what the ping averages are. That doesn't make any sense to not even check, because I'm pretty sure if it was UK and East Coast, I think the ping averages would probably be about the same.
Looks like the North Americans are in tow, and like already you can see Kel has 50 ping on NA, which is just nowhere close to what these.
Whereas the French
would be
guys,
getting
yeah,
in France,
we'll be playing with 10 on France.
So no, I agree with that. Maybe if the French side gets to force their own France server, then the American guys should be able to force the Chicago server.
No, I think that would actually be fair as well, but it looks like instead, unfortunately, advantage with the pings going to the French side. But at least it means the match is actually going to start.
Yeah, that's the important thing. But I mean, we want a fair match at the end of the day, and a lot of people say, "Oh, it's not too fair, not too fair." But there is a sense of fairness to this. I think, if anything, there's more. I mean, there's less upsets in this format. The better team usually comes out on top. So we'll see. Seems like NA cannot get away from the scrutiny. Maybe Watley feels he needs to make up for the Polish loss.
Yeah,
if only they played on a Poland server.
Yeah, I'm definitely not happy with this having been decided. I mean, we can look at the French pings; they're almost all under 100, whereas the NA side have only got four or five people with under 100. So,
well, I think a lot of people don't realize the difference that the UK to the French server makes for a lot of NA guys. I'll get sub 100 in UK, but I won't get sub 100 in France. So
yeah, this is interesting. But anyway, at least
the NA team will have to live with it. That's the case.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think everyone in chat seems to be agreeing.
Oh, looks like a mass exodus.
Everyone's leaving this server now, changing to another server.
Mass exodus for the French
Potentially
team.
going to EU now? I'm not.
No, it looks like they're back on UK.
They're back on UK. Okay.
All hope is saved. Oh, wait, never mind. This was the remaining North American players that never left the UK server.
Okay, apparently Kel's told me that coins are being flipped for the set order. I guess they can't agree whether they're starting on EU or NA, so they're flipping. They're flipping a coin to decide where they start.
Lordy me.
We're 20 minutes past the match start time, and yeah.
Well, personally, I believe whatever team starts top set should start the set in their server. That's just that simple. If you're the top.
I mean, look, this is the thing. They're tossing coins and trying to decide, but it's in the rules already what's meant to start, right? Exactly, it's in the rules that it's meant to start EU and then 2 NA and then 1 EU. I don't know why they're not. For whatever reason, they're not. Yeah, it is the NC finals, Zuru, but yeah, for whatever reason, they're not using the rules. They're flipping coins instead. I don't know why.
I think this may sound very dumb, but I think there's pressure on the admin team. They feel like they really fucked up with Poland shit, and now they're all in on trying to make this fair somehow. But
no, I think you're right. But the way they're going about it right now is making things less fair, I think, than they were. But
oh lord, looks like they're going on France 1.
Yeah. I think we are going to end up with the match being played on EU side in France, which, I mean, I don't even need to do the ping averages to see that this gives a pretty. The ping average difference is probably about 20 better in favor of France doing it this way.
They'll be starting at NA. I'll wait to see which server everyone joins to, as I'm unsure right now. But yeah, even for my server browser, I get 110 in France compared to 90 in UK, so I'd be upset for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, look, Paolo's got 6 ping on this server.
Yeah,
Paolo's 6 ping on this French server. Yeah.
Paolo 8 ping. This is unreal.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but at this point, we're 25 minutes on. From our perspective as streaming it, I think we just want the match to start, but it's unfortunate that it's not going to happen in the fairest way.
Paul
I
with 8
think.
ping, Brian with 17. Brian has the exact same ping he had on UK in France, so
Yeah, I don't see what they could possibly. I don't know. The French guys will all get under 20 ping on a UK server anyway.
exactly.
So I don't see why the French guys are unhappy with the UK server, because they'll get essentially the same ping, but the NA guys will get better by 5 to 10.
Well, that's exactly it. It seems to be the case. So,
But
and maybe this is more testament to how feared this NA team actually is.
well, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what's going on in the discussions, but the French guys will. Their pings are going to be between. Well, I mean, the French guys right now on the server, their pings are between 8 and 20.
And that's, I mean, 8 ping. That's nearly playing on a LAN connection. That is.
I mean, when I was at Bucharest, I did get a ping spike up to 10. You don't actually get 0 on LAN. You do get probably about between 5 and 10. So that is essentially what they've got.
That French ping side is unreal, and the American side or the North American side has clearly gone a lot worse. Just by the eye test, you can see that it's clearly gone a lot worse.
Yeah, I
Search and
mean,
chat. I mean, even then, the ping the French guys get is still much better.
yeah, Yoshi, the NA guy's clearly upset with what they're typing. Watley demanding the captains talk to him on Steam. More drama. Yeah, I don't know what is going on.
Well, I think this is quite unfair, personally.
No, I agree with you, and I think most people that are going to see the pings once this goes on, once this starts, will agree.
Apparently, the UK server is not an official tournament server.
I'm not sure what that means. Watley's saying the German server is fair as well. Lagstro saying Bullez set up the server. Bullez is the. I have no idea what's going on. Watley is apparently arguing that the UK server is not an official server, so it doesn't count. Deacon with a fair point. Why is this being decided now and not before? Absolutely,
Well,
I don't know.
No. I actually believe it was UK decided first, and the French people got here and they were like, "Why don't we just play on France?" And I agree. I think maybe the Americans should be able to play on Chicago then. It seems only fair. This is actually absurd. If you just take a look, I'll just list it for you. The French ping side from top to bottom. 15,
I've taken
17,
a
16,
screenshot.
41,
I'll post it in chat.
20, 16, 21, 14, 8.
Yeah, I've taken a screenshot, which I'll post in the chat for people to see.
Yeah, this is. I mean, comparatively speaking, you can just see that the
Hey,
American.
wait, the chat bots deleted my my screenshot.
You can't post links. Just post on the forums. Go post it on the live stream section. Oh, okay, no, definitely managed to post it. Perfect. So in chat, guys, there's.
Wait, definitely. I'll post it in the Discord, and then you can post that link.
So there will be a link in chat. This will show you the pings if you guys are curious to see.
Yeah, definitely. Use the link I put in Discord and post that.
You guys take a look at that.
Yeah. So this is on the French server, with the pings being like this. So if it's on,
that a lot of them are lower on the American side.
Yeah. So on this is a French server. On the UK side, the American pings were better by about 5 to 10 on an average, and the French pings were worse by about 5. So
I mean, I believe Brian, Peter, Thor, those guys all get the exact same ping. It's only really Paulo who had a bit worse than Mouse, I believe.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't. And then I don't have a screenshot of the NA server right now, but on the NA server, all of the French guys were under 100 except for Moose and Swap, I believe. So, whereas, for instance, in this screenshot, you can see the NA side have only got 4 players under 100, which is not not equal.
So from what I have seen, from what I've heard, apparently France was allowed to choose, whereas Poland was forced to play an admin choice, which is so pretty much everything points to the fact that they believe they really messed up with the Poland game. They believe that is the main reason Poland lost, and now they're trying to vindicate them.
Yeah, Lagstro, apparently, Kel saying Lagstro literally can't play on France because his ping is worse by 20 here.
I believe it is. He's from California, West Coast, pretty much literally across the globe. So
yeah, I mean that's pretty absurd. Watley now is about to force live.
I think that's unfair since the French people started the French team started the whole commotion about the servers. So
yeah. So Lagstro is unfortunately just not going to be able to play on the.
That's the captain of the team, by the way, for the viewers. Yeah. That's the captain of the team, the caller.
Yeah, so the caller of the NA team is actually just going to be unable to play as a result of this decision.
I can't say I'm happy about this at all. Not even as a North American player, just a guy who likes war. It seems pretty, underhanded by the French. Not to say that they're doing it obviously for malicious reasons.
I think the worst part of this for the NA side now is that they've been scrimming with Lagstro calling, and now Lagstro can't call. So the NA side are basically going to have to use someone who has no experience calling this map and factions.
Well, like we were talking about earlier, though, for example, we were talking about, and not even just that, the calling point, just even the players. A lot of the guys we pointed out, Alice ping is still quite good, but Aporta has gone up about 10. Cal's gone up about. These are big guys on their team getting worse ping, and
yeah, Cal's has gone up by about 10.
I think everything just points downwards for the North American side. Yoshi with a disconnect, and I don't think Watley's handling this too well, to be fair.
I have to agree. I think after this match, once we have the screenshots done, people are going to... I mean, if you check the averages, the French average, I said 20, but I think it's going to be more like 30, the difference on average, better in favor of the French team.
Well, so, I can tell you for a fact, there's no way the American guys are getting ping like that on North America, across the board.
Yeah. I mean... I don't agree that NA has always been shafted in previous NCs, but I have to... There's no way... I don't think you can deny that this decision is obviously against NA. Like, what's happening right now is obviously in favor of the French team and very obviously against the NA side. So, yeah, I'm not sure who agrees with this other than the French team and Watley, but...
yeah. I mean, I think this is purely Watley trying to vindicate what he believes to be his mistake in the Poland match, and I think it's pretty bad choice, to be fair. But we're gonna get live with the match.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. At last.
Finally, exactly, yeah. So taking a look over at the French side, it's gonna be, from the looks of it, 4 cav, 2 inf, 2 archers. And
meanwhile, the NA side using 3 archers, 3 infantry, and 2 cavalry. I did know about this strategy from the NA side beforehand.
And you know what? On 2 of 3 flags, I think this works really well.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's a gimmick strategy, right? It's not a standard thing, but they're playing against Saranids. Saranids obviously notorious for those paper horses, and I believe the idea from the NA side is get loads of projectiles, they've got loads of javelins, they've got 3 archers, and just shoot the Saranid horses.
And this flag is right in North America's ballpark. This reminds me a lot of WK strategies, so obviously Laxtra's influence on this. But yeah, so the flag's going to be right in North America's ballpark. They're going to have the 3 infantry very close to the flag. The French side going to approach slowly. With only 2 infantry, this could be actually a big play here, especially their 2 infantry being 2 of the weaker players on the team.
Yeah, definitely a very difficult flag for France to approach. The main weakness of only having 2 cavalry on a map like this is that you can't protect yourself in the open. But this flag, NA, they don't have to move around the open at all. They've got the tower, they've got these rocks, they've got a fairly closed position and they can just set up and shoot. France have sent Maxmu round to this ladder where he's going to be shooting onto the tower.
We're going to see if Jeffrey's noticed him. Or anyone's picked up a note on him. Maybe the Cav saw him. Cal probably saw him. He just got shot at. The French side is actually going to be the aggressors onto the flag.
Yep, the French side taking the flag. NA a bit cautious to take a fight. I think the main reason for that is they want to get damage done to the Sarand cavalry before the fight starts. They want to get some
Cav's doing a
shots
good
landed.
job. The Cav's doing a good job of staying out of the fight.
Yeah,
Going
the
up,
French.
yep, PPK and Cow. PPK going to go around the side. He's going for the archer. Knocks him to the ground, but nothing coming out of that. Cow coming on the couch. Counter back.
Yeah, I think the NA side are going to try and force the fight here. They bumped him down. They have damaged him. Paolo very low.
Oh, the Imp has come in. Paulo might be in trouble here. Port throwing javelins.
Yeah,
The activity fight has begun.
here. This is the best place for NA to fight if they can do some damage to these infantry quickly.
Some shields are broken. The infantry closing in on the one. Mouse goes down. NA's up. Cow picks up Vince. Both infantry down for the French side. Engages the meeting. Cow comes in. Can't do much damage. Guac picks up the kill on Paulo.
Not much time left in the round though.
Porter goes down. The flag is still a bit higher.
The French flag is higher. The NA guys, they need to start.
Guac running the flag. Brian can't come in. Cow actually dismounts. Oh, good shot by Jeffrey. Picks up the kill on Thor. PBK gets the kill on Swamp. Cow goes down. But the NA advantage is still there. Peter dismounts. The infantry fight has begun. Guac goes down to Peter. Peter really fighting here.
Yeah.
Good shot from the archers. PBK picks up the kill, but Yoshi TK's PBK. Only 2 left on the flag. It could be a draw unless they both die here.
They've only got a few seconds and they need to kill all of these French players.
Oh! So close for the NA team, but NA showing they have the grit. They don't give a shit that they have to play on this French server. And clearly that ping means nothing. Those French guys just got outplayed big time.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think NA definitely should have won that round. I think they were a bit slow to get to the flag. They took the 2 French infantry out really quickly, but then they hesitated a bit, I think, throwing a few javelins at horses. I think if they'd rushed to the flag straight away, they could have gotten a bit more raised to win that round. But no, definitely, like you say, a really good start for the NA side. The first round on the away server after all that drama, and you know, they're really showing that they can win even in this situation.
That has to be a big slap in the face of the French side. They were probably thinking this couldn't be any easier on our French server.
No, absolutely. Unfortunate though that NA didn't get that round because it's so crucial to get those away server rounds, right? And they could have opened with one, but
another flag that's
really
in the NA ballpark. It's gonna be Paulo taking some paw shots at the side. Paulo went down very early last round along with the infantry. As you're saying, maybe if the NA team went to the flag faster, they would have come out with a double. I mean, a draw is not the worst thing you could expect. It's better to get a draw.
A draw is definitely fun. They've got plenty more chances. They've got some gold advantage as well. I'm not sure, not too much advantage actually, but a few better pieces.
Pretty gross crossfire from the French side here. New team going towards the flag, but this 3 infantry force is actually dangerous.
Yep, the French side have no choice but to retreat, taking some damage on their infantry. I'm not sure which infantry that was that got hit.
This is perfect gameplay from NA. They're pushing the French out of any spot they want. They're taking the spots for themselves. They have the 3 archers up with the crossfire. I think it's big on the archers right now for this North American side. They have to hit shots.
Yeah, definitely. But as we saw in that last round, Jeff was hitting shots repeatedly. I think he saved he saved PPK actually by shooting Peter while he was mid stab. And he got a headshot, of course, as well. So the NA archers are playing well, and I think with these positions, they can
do you think maybe that little blunder, that timing error on the North American side that forced the draw, maybe because lag is not in the set?
I mean, possibly.
Oh,
that was risky. That was
risky. Right there.
Yeah, he took a risk, and he's paid for it. But I mean, you do have to take risks on the away server sometimes because you're just not going to win otherwise.
North American side biding their time. Paulo free firing.
Yeah, I think NA need to push the flag because if we look at the timer, they don't want to lose in the same way again. They're going to go straight onto the flag.
With only 1 cavalry, though, it won't be hard. PPK coming with a couch. Managed to hit a shield. Dallas goes down. Brian comes in. Peter comes in, gets a porta. This might be a clean sweep for the French side.
French cav free on the flag this time.
And you know, when you run 2 cav, it's very bad when 1 goes down because 1 cav against 4, he does nothing.
Yeah, 2 cav you can kind of manage it if you do a hard push, but not with 1.
Jeff gets a consolation kill on Brian, stopping the upgrade.
Fairly solid round for France there, but it's not the French side. Sorry, the NA side. I don't think they should be despairing too much. They've got 2 more rounds to try and claim that one, but I think there could be some morale damage actually on the NA side from having not won that first round. Because if they, depending on how this set now goes, they're going to be thinking, you know, we messed up that round. We ended up with a draw where we should have won. And I think that can probably have a mental impact. Especially if this set goes to France 3-0, I think the NA guys, all they're going to be thinking in their heads is, we should have won that first round, we messed up.
Well, I believe, you know, if the NA gets this flag again, they're clearly not going to make the same mistake. Look at their positioning, as we can see already. And they won't be so lucky.
It's
But
the worst. This is the worst one.
Here's a 3-imp I think can play very well. If the French side chooses to take the tower, which it looks like Maximum is going for, I think that could be a big mistake, actually.
Yeah, we'll see. It depends if the French guys, if they can maybe push them in front in the open. I think that's a better fight for France. But you're right. If the NA guys manage to reach that tower and they make the fight happen in the tower or around the tower itself, then the 3 infantry strat is good.
This is a nicer approach for the NA side, less opening. There's trees in the fence to defend yourselves with, but I'm not sure if this is really going to work too well. They don't really have a clear path to the tower.
Yeah, Jeff.
And Jeffrey already goes down. He's unfortunately not much he can really do. The crossfire is there. The infantry moving as a force, but they're split from their archers. And they've done a good job to negate.
Swap.
The Cav gets stopped. He's going to go down. His horse is down. He's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, Porta throws a jab into Guac.
Yeah.
Zac's going to get him to Thor in the backlines, but Cal picks up the kill right back on Thor. It's 3-2.
Yeah, so many players down from both teams right now, but the NA guy's down by 1.
And Brian comes in. Nice shot from Paulo. Picks up the kill on a Porta. Cal going to go for an ambitious couch on Maximu. Not going to find the kill.
Yeah. The NA guy's not gonna take this one. I don't think there's much they can do. Both of the French archers free shooting.
And you know, it looked good from the beginning, but that TK on Guac is brutal. When you lose one of those 3 imp, you're back down to 2, and then you're
that could have equalized it, but yeah, that team kill really not what they needed. And like I say, the NA guys are really going to be thinking in their heads right now that they should have won that first round, and I don't think you can avoid thinking that.
Well, now with this flag out of the way, though, I think the NA team has to be getting an air of confidence. They know that the flag is going to be somewhere where they can win. They've already won in the spawn. They know how to play it better. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, this is absolutely, both of these flags are good for NA. If they get the flag with the tower, the one on the left side, they're banking on it. Obviously, I mean they're banking on it every round, and this flag is actually the best by far for the NA setup. So if they get this flag again, they definitely can win this round. I don't think there's too many upgrades from the French side. I mean, I say that the French infantry have upgraded quite a bit actually.
I think, like you said though, maybe that first round it may demoralize, but at the same time, it has to also uplift you the fact that they know, like, yeah, we can take rounds here. It's not impossible.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think the issue is that although getting that draw in that first round is like it brings the morale up just for this set, but if the NA guys lose this set and they lose it without getting around, it will hurt them morale-wise for the rest of the match. Knowing that they could have won that first round.
Looking towards the archers for the French, though, I don't really see a clean crossfire really set up right now. Maximus going to be close, and really, if the infantry really just gets together, he's going to back up in time.
Yeah, the French with the flag setting up on it. Difficult approach for NA again. This time, hopefully.
This time, less hesitation from the NA side. They're going right up the hill. They want Paulo.
Yeah, they need to avoid any early deaths from that cavalry.
The Cav really just needs to get up there and hit Paulo. They just need to.
This is difficult though for the NA Cav because the French Cav know that the NA Cav, there's only 2 of them, and they're playing. They're sort of cornering.
Oh, PPK goes down, taking engagement with Brian. Not the best option, especially with the ping difference.
The French Cav are cornering these NA Cav, and
you can see Thor sitting right behind all the French Cavs, sitting out of the the fire line of the French or the North American archers.
Yeah, the French guy's going to push the close position where Maximum is. It's an easy push for 3 infantry to push them out of there.
Oh, Paulo takes a hit from the archers. The archers firing on him. This is what the archers need to do. They need to pin down the enemy archers.
There's not a ton of time left though.
That flag is high.
The NA Inf are going to have to move to the flag soon. And once they go to the flag, there's only 1 cav up from the NA side, and things are going to become really difficult then. Cow taking damage on his horse as well. He's forced to sort of stay around.
The North American side is moving to the flag. This is what they have to do, but you can see instantly those French imp back up and the Cav come in. The North American imp has to buckle down. There's a block. Guac with his spear out. All the infantry have the spear out. So she goes down, gets lance. Brian picks the out. And all the North American infantry down. This looks like it's it for the North American side.
Yeah. But unfortunate that... I mean, there's no way we can do anything other than say, NA should have won that first round, and they didn't, and now they're paying for it.
And they've paid for it dearly, getting 3-0'd in the first set from what looked like a very possible first round, and running with the momentum they've lost. And we will go to North America to continue the second set of the NC 2019 finals.
And the thing with that is that losing 3-0 on the away side isn't bad, right? You kind of expect to lose 3-0 on the away side. So
Right.
from that perspective, you're like, oh, it's fine. But what's not good is when you have a round in your grasp, right? They were 3v1 on the flag and they lose it in the last few seconds by a draw. That's that's not good. That's not good for morale, and I can see that affecting the NA team going forward.
I think it's the NA team. It's time to buckle down. You have to look at it rationally. A 3-0 is what you expect, like you said. I think you got to look at that with optimism. That first round, it's should be optimistic that you can win these rounds, and especially I think you should be more confident on the closed map where the French team will probably perform worse.
I agree with you, but now obviously NA on their home side, this is where NA are going to be looking to do the same, right? They need that 3-0 for themselves.
Make sure to take a quick screenshot after everyone's in. I think we can clearly see that this isn't the fairest of matchups. Quite a big difference actually when we look at it. Only Alice really getting comparable ping to the French guys.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the situation we're in. I don't agree with Watley's decision, but ultimately both teams are just gonna have to live with it from now. And I mean, I think I have to say that first round, I think the NA guys were channeling a lot of anger into that first round that the NA guys won. Well, I mean, they didn't actually win it, but they got the draw on that flag. I think the NA guys were channeling a lot of their anger at the decision into how they were playing there.
I think they need that anger, man. They played with fury right there. They went in aggressively in that first round. It looked like they were unstoppable. They were just destroying everywhere. But I mean, even in that first round, you saw Peter played very well. I think what you're talking about, we go back to what you were talking about. That Peter is like maybe the missing link for this unity-based French team.
No, definitely. We saw on the flag there. I think if he's got like a triple kill, or at least a double kill. It might have been a triple kill even with a lance. And if he hadn't have gotten that,
it's a clean sweep.
That was clean for NA. But it just shows you have to be so careful. Like, even when Peter's got a lance and you're sort of attacking him with your axe and you're thinking, all right, I'm just going to hilt spam him and take him down. You can't do it. You have to be careful.
We look at this French side and only really swap with plus 100 ping.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. These French pings are better than I even thought they would be. They've got Paolo low 80s, everyone else 90.
If you're the French side, you're as happy as you can be. If you're the NA side, you've been shafted.
Yeah. Watley's saying that the French side have no obligation to play on a non-official server. I've no idea why the UK server is non-official. I don't know what the difference between an official server and a non-official server is. Surely any tournament server is an official server. But Watley has made the decision to force France and force East Coast.
I think the bigger part of being a good admin is not necessarily enforcing the rules, but enforcing what is fairest in every situation. Like he said, Lags were saying the server was literally set up by Bullas, who's an admin for the tournament.
Yeah. Does it need your holy blessings? It's like, no, I can't agree with this decision at all. But this is where we are. So,
I wholly believe this is Watley's attempt to vindicate what he believes was his mistake in the Poland match. Despite, I believe, that match going about as fair as you could say. This match, clearly, when you look at the pings, I mean, Lagstro 76, PPK 50, Surge 40, Gulag 40, Porta 40. It's nowhere close to the same.
Some people are saying that it's not that. In the chat that it's fine, that it's fair this way around, but the difference is not that the French people have 15 ping on their home side, right? Everyone knows the French are going to get really good ping on a UK server. Like the French guys will get 20 ping on a UK server. Everyone knows that. The issue is not the French pings. The issue is the NA pings. The NA pings are worse by 10 to 15 on a French server than a UK server.
I think the biggest thing is that a lot of European guys don't realize that not everyone in North America lives like the country. USA is huge, Canada's huge. Like, just because the server's in North America does not mean everyone will be getting very good.
Yeah, and I mean, as we can see, we're on the home server for NA now, and there's multiple NA players with 40 plus. Which, I mean, 40 is completely playable, but when we compare it to the French 15,
it's night and day. And then when you compare that further to the fact that the difference between North America and France was probably around 90 ping, the difference here is more like 50.
Yeah, I cannot possibly see why why at the finals of the Nations Cup, as the finals is starting, they would change what had been pre-agreed. I just can't see possibly why that would be decided, but yeah, we're here and it's going live.
And we are live looking at the North American side. Alice, Lagstro, Archer, Guak, Porta, Infantry, and Yoshi going to be joining the Cav Corps along with Surge, Cow, and P. Surge notorious for dying early, and I think it'll be very important for this North American Cav side to not die. They're going to have to play very well, because with 90 ping, Cav is very playable. You can play at a very high level of Cav.
No, I agree. Surge, he's just gonna need to chill. I played in the NASS with Surge on my team, and he can do if he stays alive and doesn't throw his life away early. He plays well. Like, he is a good cavalry player. He just sometimes he gets too aggressively. And you're right. When you're on your home server, you don't want to be playing. You don't want to throw your life away early, because if you do that, you give the other team a chance that they wouldn't have.
And history repeats itself with the flag spawn.
Yeah,
the French side already on the flag.
4-2-2 from the French guys. Guak needs to be careful. Thor throwing jabs at his side there. The French cav still playing quite confidently. I think that's more to do with the fact they've got javelins, though. Obviously, Nord cav can sort of just kite round and throw jabs quite comfortably.
Oh, and Apollo actually in the open. They're being a bit hesitant. They're backing up now, and time is not really in their corner right now. The flag is very high.
I think the NA guys are perhaps overcomplicating their strategy a bit here. I think when you're on your home server, you just play standard and you play solid and you win. I think.
And now the pressure's really on the North American side. The infantry has to push, and you can watch. If you really do watch the French infantry, they always back up, anticipating their cav to come in. And there you go. Thor comes in, takes a shield out.
Yeah, Cal losing shield. Oh, Surge has a spare shield though.
Impressive.
Surge brings 2 shields, has a spare one for Cal.
It just went for the North American side. Peter gonna go down, but is that really what you want? Dude's clearly a beast on his feet.
Peter's dismounted, but it does give the flag to the NA guys. Oh, PPK.
And North American Cap, PPK gonna go down.
Yeah, he's gonna go down early.
The shot, and that's really ambitious play to go around the back.
Yeah,
they're just get free shots on you. Cow takes a hit, and now the engage is really gonna begin.
The French are gonna push the flag.
The French side, the Cav has to come in. Where's the North American cavalry? They're coming in now. Surge gets a good kill on Brian, equalizing it. And Lagstro gets a nice shot on Peter. Cow goes down to Vince. But the Northern infantry is still around. Guak, Yoshi, nice kill on Mouse.
Yeah, Surge doing brilliant double kills for him.
He's playing well. Guak goes down. It's up to a Porta to survive. Lagstro, nice shots. Yoshi getting the kill on Paulo. And already you can see
Surge with another dismount.
Surge is playing. Alice and Lagstro. You can't help but imagine if Lagstro was playing in that French set on the UK server that things could have gone differently.
I mean, I have to agree. Like, Lagstro is such a powerful player, and he can, like, even with 150 ping that he gets on the UK server, he plays so well. He plays so well with that ping. But
I think
on the French server, he's got
170.
On the French server, yeah, 170 to 180. It's just too much. You just can't play with that.
I think you'd have to argue that maybe you even play him over Zachley, because his presence is more than enough. He can still shoot. He can still push shots in the air.
Yeah, but in that set there, I think there were a couple mistakes from the NA guys early. I think you'd agree with me in saying, right, Cal lost his shield. If Surge didn't have a spare one, that would have been bad for Cal.
Masker, and PPK, very ambitious play to go around the back.
Yeah. I think the NA guys need to recognize that they're on the home server now. You don't need to be the one making the risky plays. When you're on your home server, you just play solid, you play normally, and you win comfortably.
Well, I think we saw a clear difference that even on the home set or the away set, that the North American infantry has the advantage. I think Guak and Porta have thoroughly outplayed the French infantry on both servers. So like you said, this will be the advantage we have to look towards. Paulo already up in the elevated spawn.
Ooh,
Cav goes down.
Yeah, PPK
goes
again.
Down.
I just can't help but feel he's playing too riskily.
Recklessly, yeah.
He just needs to relax, sort of, just wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Just relax. Just relax and wait.
There's no need to force a play. And now, actually, the crossfire is quite vicious for the French side. Oh, Brian actually on Archer. Oh my lord.
Yeah, I've just realized that Brian's playing Archer. Are the French doing 3 archers? They are. France is doing 3 archers and 3 cav.
Interesting. I believe they're taking some notion from the North American set, where they played the 3 archers and 3 F.
Yeah, the NA guys looks like they want to push They want to push Paolo.
No, I'm not sure if this is the best play. I think they should just go to flag.
I think they should just go to flag too, but they've sort of committed to it now. They can't go back. And
Paolo's really pulling them out. Will Laxer could land a gross shot here.
ooh, Yoshi with a nice backstab on Maximo. He almost takes him down.
Guac actually just going to clean up Paulo here. I doubt there's any way he can survive against Guac.
I think he's going to kite with the cav though. It's
Looks like he'll go down.
Surge taking down Brian
Brian
though.
with
That's
the
great.
Surge really showing his worth here.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of time left though. If we look at the time
You
left,
have to be
any
scared
guys
though.
need to get to flag.
Porta's on the flag alone. The Cavas come help.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yoshi
excellent
just
hit from.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yoshi doing a great job.
Oh, nice bump.
Surge
Surge
again.
really showing he has this mounted, but it's a play that's worth it. Maximum gets the kill on Yoshi, but Alice is firing now. Thor and Swap both go down. It's only Maximum and Peter. What can they do? A Porta on Peter. Oh, Cal comes in with a nice hit. And the North American side, despite what looked like a strategic fumble,
Yeah,
they pull it out.
Cal did a good double kill at the end. I mean, like the NA guys, they've played 2 rounds 7v8 and they've won them both, and I think that really shows credit to how well they're playing on their home sides. And in no small part,
you have to think these rounds would just be that much easier though. PPK that just doesn't die.
yeah, no, I agree, and I think you know PPK obviously is an incredibly experienced player, and not only is he incredibly experienced, but he's incredibly good at the game. But I think he's just playing a bit too riskily. I think that's in part because he's just played the first. PPK played the first set on away, right? And I think when you're playing away, you have to take risks because you're just not going to win otherwise. And I think he's sort of still in that mindset, and I think he just needs to sort of relax.
I think he hasn't had the best tournament so far in NC19, but like you said, man, when you have that much experience, you're always capable of doing well.
Yeah, and I think he just needs to sort of relax, sort of, you know, take that mental reset in his head now. He's died early twice. He just needs to think, you know, chill, play how I've always played in the past, and just relax. Because
when I first started playing, Sakichi Ottoman told me, just hit people in the back. They have no shield there, you know what I mean? So if you're PPK, just look for those backs. Take it easy, help the inf. Don't force
the French side pushing the tower. I think they've done some early damage to one of these.
Yeah, I think Walk took a javelin somewhere, or maybe it was a Porta. Not sure.
NA guys looking like they want to push. Yoshi is really eager to get this fight started.
And you know what? I am a fan of this strat. You keep the tower untouched, unsullied. But
yeah, I think NA are going to push, and the French cavalry,
in trouble here. Oh, what a shot from Maximum. Takes that walk, and this is bad for the NA side. Their main superiority is down, and Alice being pushed, but PPK, nice couch on Maximum. Alice is in the tower. He's engaged in a duel right here. Very skilled duelist. So can he survive against Brian and Peter, though? That's the question. He needs help. Of course, on the way. PPK, there you go. Doing exactly what we think he can do. Picking up kills. And Alice in trouble. He goes down, and Porta now in the tower. Maybe a second too late. But Thor's hurt now. Cow gets Paulo.
Surge again.
Nice. Surge really showing that he deserves to be on this team. Swap, nice kill on Yoshi. Cow picks
it. Cow doing a good job.
North America should clean this up. Peter on the flag, maybe showing his intuition that he knows that this is maybe the only way they can win. Will survive, though. Porta coming
I don't think Peter's going to survive on flag in this situation.
Oh, good work from Porta.
PPK 3 kills this round, and I think, like we said, I think when you've got that kind of experience, you know you've messed up 2 rounds in a row. You just sort of relax, and you sort of mentally reset, and he's showing that he can do that. I
think if you're PPK, it has to give you confidence that even when you fuck up like that, your team still wins, so it helps again to play more calm. And good work from the NA side. Absolutely. I think they take that more convincingly than the French did, personally. No, I agree that despite 2 rounds 7v8, the NA guys played that really solidly, and that's a solid 3-0 from them. And now going into another NA set, isn't it? Yeah, another NA set. And you can't help but think that this is probably the best situation possible. You don't have Rodox on away. Yeah. But so this is like, imagine right now if the NA guys had that first round under their belt, right? In that situation, they would know right now that if they 3-0'd the set, they win the whole match. But they don't have that. Instead, the NA guys know now that even if they 3-0 this set, they can still lose the match after this. And I think that's why that first round that they threw is... I honestly think that's going to come back and bite them in the end result. If for example, they 3-0 here and they don't close it out in the last set, you'd have to be kicking yourself if you're on it. Yeah. Because you had the match in the bag. Yeah, and
It is genuinely entirely possible that we're going to get to the end of the match, and it's actually going to be the fact that and they threw that very first round that will cost them the match. But we're not at that stage yet. We're at the third set, and obviously another home set for NA. And switching to Mountain Fortress, so it's a closed map this time round.
Could you almost reckon you play Surge here instead of PBK on Cav?
I think that you've got to be debating it, right?
He played amazing. He pretty much saved that set.
Yeah, he did say he played so well, and I don't know. There's got to be some discussion about that, but I think they're probably going to stick with PPK, and it's not a bad decision, right? You want to play PPK is so experienced and so solid, and he knows what he's doing in finals. And even though he messed up a couple of rounds, he brought it back fantastically in that third round.
You see,
So
yeah,
I see
I
the
think
logic.
you're right. I'd agree with you. Probably keep PPK in.
Yeah, even I mean, there's a debate there to be had about who's better to bring in. Do you bring in like the less experienced player that's having a really good day, or do you keep your veteran of I don't know how many tournaments PPK's won, like 5 or something?
A ton.
Yeah.
A ton. But
Do you,
looking,
yeah.
I mean, in my experience, I played Mountain Fortress against Poland, obviously in 2017, and they had spectacular archers. Prince was playing back then. I don't think Habrak was as good as he was now, but I mean, we had Rodox too, and I think, at least as a Cav player, we found all of our success when I would go shut down those archers as Cav. I just go sit on them, hit them, whatever. Do you think maybe that's what has to happen? I mean, Lagster obviously played super well. Alice played extremely well.
Yeah. The French guys have definitely. I think that, as I say, Paolo's saying 1 minute. I think the French guys right now are probably having a tactics talk, and they're thinking, right, what do we need to do to win a round on away? And Lagshow was shooting so well, Alice was shooting so well. But honestly, in that those final 2 rounds, especially, I don't think a Porter and Guak did that good as infantry. So it'll be interesting how the French guys interpret that.
I believe Guak and Porter played very well on the open map.
I think
at least in terms of infantry, they outplayed the French infantry like thoroughly.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they played there in the first set. I think they played great, and in the first round of the second set. But I think they messed up a bit in those final 2 rounds. But I think it's interesting because if we're looking at it from the French perspective, if the French guys need to be thinking, how can we win a round on away is what they're thinking, and that means they're going to be thinking, right, do we shut down their archers? Do we shut down the cavalry? Do we shut down their infantry? And they have to decide what they want to focus on to win that round. And I think it's entirely possible they're discussing using Brian as archer here.
I think that'd be a massive flaw to run 3 archers here, personally.
I think it's probably part of their discussion because you have to pull out a gimmick, right, for the away server to try and get that 1 round.
Well,
and
I don't think you do necessarily, because especially a map like this, Cav has a lot of room to move, archers have a lot of room to move. The obvious disadvantage is infantry for the French side, and you can play around that even here with just running a basic comp where your infantry just survive. They just play stably, not looking to kill.
Yeah, I agree. And there's one of these flags is very open. So if you're the French side, maybe even 3 cav.
I think 3 cav is better than 3 archers here.
Yeah, because if the French guys just focus on the open flag and they just rely entirely on that with a heavy cavalry setup, they could get that round they want. But anyway,
and
we're
we
going
are
live. We'll find out shortly.
The Rodox side. Do you think they run a Morningstar?
I love to see Morningstars on closed maps with Rodox. So
I'd argue it's actually really strong. I mean, it's one hit kill through shields.
They're like I said, the French guys, they're doing 3 archers, I think. Yeah, they're doing 3 archers. I knew it. I knew that's what they were thinking, and they've done it.
Your intuition is beyond years.
What is? Okay, they're running Peter infantry and they're running Torin cav. So
now,
they've decided.
Go ahead.
So all the French best cavalry players is Peter, Brian, and Thor, and normally they always keep one of those 3 as cav to give their cavalry lineup some strength. But what they've done here, they've switched all 3 of their best cavalry players to either infantry or archer, and they put Torin in as cav. It's interesting. It's not what I would have done.
I think they've recognized the strength of the North American infantry, and they realize they have to do something about it to contest it. And maybe Torin is stable enough to just get those hits in the back, bump people. But you know, one cav on this map is probably the worst thing you can imagine.
I do not
destroy you.
I do not agree with one cav on this map, especially because that open flag. There isn't that there is an open flag that's like as open as any flag on Frosthaven, isn't it? That open flag down there.
Very open.
And
especially with amazing archer spots.
Yeah, and you need cav for that. And the French side have only got one, but that's not the flag they've got this time. They've got a fairly closed flag.
And you know what? They've even given up the position though. The North American side is there pretty much right on time.
I think Palo is actually going to get up in that tower though. Yeah, Palo's gotten up, and the French have got a pretty deadly archer spread, and the NA guys need to be careful.
I think it'll be big on the Cavs to come in, and the infantry, if they're going to fight, it's going to have to be quick. You can't prolong this fight.
Yeah, when you're up against three archers, three Vega archers especially, and of the quality Maximu and Paolo.
Interesting move. Guax actually move up towards...
Ooh, PPK's gotten stuck. Oh, Cow saved him
amazing
so
hit there on Maximu. Maximu's hurt.
Ooh,
Alice basically killing Thor. What a shot!
Yeah.
Oh, Brian goes down to Porta and PPK. Nice play there on the side. Maximu in trouble, gets caught out on the North American side. A beautiful play.
Out. Yeah, they pushed that top side there. I don't know what the French infantry didn't move back to defend them, and they just got caught out.
And they believed maybe they'd be fine and take the flag, but everyone's in trouble now. Yoshi just taking down Vince. It's Peter in the corner. What can he really do? Goes down, Kev. Cuts him out. Consolation shot. That's what you get for not wearing a helmet.
Yeah, well, no, it's a feature. It's a feature of every single NC match that NA play in, isn't it? Oh, Palace goes back, but every single NA match ends.
PPK headshot is
the PPK headshot is a staple. It has to happen.
And you gotta say there, Alice's shot has to confuse the French imp there, because if you're Thor, you're thinking I'm going to help, and then all of a sudden that one infantry that you sent is dead. So what happens? Those archers just die. Pretty much is exactly what happened.
Yeah, Torin losing his horse, he's not going to get any money, but I think he'll probably survive.
Like I was saying, though, take a look. 6 kills.
Oh, Torin's dropped his shield, so he can get another scimitar to drop for the next round.
Very smart, very smart.
I imagine he's probably been told to do that, though, by someone.
And Torin has actually messed up his loadout.
Yeah, he's messed up his loadout, and he's ended up with a Corsair. Now that is what you don't want. You don't want a single cavalry on this map with a Corsair.
And you know what, though? Like I was saying, though, take a look at the scoreboard. Kel 2, Aporta 2, Guac 1, Yoshi 1. That's 6 kills.
It was 100%. It was the NA infantry that did, well, I can't say 100%. 80% of the work there was the NA infantry. Alice with that early headshot. And
PPK
then
good bumps.
Yeah, PPK had some good bumps, and Cow actually saved PPK right at the start as well.
Yeah, he's going to get his head taken off.
Yeah, but most of that was the NA infantry, and like we said, we expected this. The NA infantry are so good. That's such a good infantry lineup that they've got there, and we can expect them to be playing well.
And especially with a guy like Aporta on these closed maps, he just shuts down your cavalry advantage. He's the best spearman for North American history. Dude understands how to stop these cav, and when you're running one cav with these 2 good archers and him, I think it's a recipe for disaster.
No, I agree. I knew the French were going to try 3 archers. I didn't know it beforehand, but as soon as I saw them say 1 minute and that they were discussing it, I knew they were going to switch Brian to archer, because that's their play, right? If they're ever unsure, they put Brian archer and see what happens.
Comes out of the side, gets shot already. Brian already hurt.
Yeah, the French pushing him.
Cow comes in, nice bump. Oh, but a saving shot. Vince gets saved.
Yeah, the French archer's doing some damage here. Now, actually, Torin's gone stuck.
Torin's going to go down. To the side. Peter engaged with Yoshi, but Torin goes down. Guag takes him out. Nice bump. Yoshi really proving his own here, fighting with Peter.
This is a long fight. This isn't what NA want, but they're taking the advantage. But it's a long fight.
Unfortunately for the French side, it's a lot of 1v1s, and this NA infantry are all extremely skilled.
But there's kills back and forth. It's actually not over.
It is quite close. Maximo actually picks up the kill on PPK. Both the cav are down. It's actually a 4 versus 4.
Ooh, Brian
picks up the kill. It's a 3 versus 4.
Lag is free on the bridge, and they've not seen him. He's going to get free shots.
Oh, he misses!
He missed.
But no one's noticed him yet. Oh, just now they've taken
They've noticed him now. Alice with a shot on Maximu.
Guac has to win this 1v1. Oh, a disgusting shot. And Guac picks the kill on Mouse. North America really buckling down here. They do not want to lose. Alice, nice outrange on Thor. And it's only left to Maximu. What can he really do? Alice has to be careful. Lagstar cuts him down. And that's grit from the North American side right there.
Brilliant from NA there to close that. I think the main problem with that fight there, and I saw it coming, like you said, lots of 1v1s, which NA will probably win. But the issue is that if you have a slow fight, when one team's got 3 archers, and 3 Vega archers even. They get so many shots off in a slow fight.
All it takes is a second for those archers to get free and massive damage. And we saw massive damage. Brian and Maximum picked up kills.
Yeah, as soon as the fight slowed down and the French archers had room to shoot, it started going in their favor. But I think the French guys played that wrong at the end there. They had their 4v4, right? That's the best scenario you can get. Well, it's not the best scenario you can get, but it's a good scenario, a 4v4 at the end of the round, and I think they played too aggressively. They should have chilled out.
I think foolishly they tried to split the push. They should have just committed to one side. Probably the last.
And NA are gonna push straight into the French.
It's gonna be a quick battle. Guac plays on the kill, but Cal goes down. Vince goes down as well. The infantry already crumbling for the French side. This is not what you want to see, especially with 3 archers. You have no base to stand on. Guac taking it from Peter. Torn goes down.
Yeah,
that's the only cap on the French side. Guac gonna have to buckle down here against Peter.
PPK's dismounted on Maximus from shooting.
And that's a good play. I like that. Brian's actually switched to Cap. Thor, a bad TK, but Peter takes down Guac. Porter gets Thor. It's only Peter and Brian.
Brian
is
damage
switched
at
to
the
Cap
end of the round. But I don't think they can do it.
Really good stop, and they pick up the kill. It's only Peter left.
And I think we're seeing exactly what you said, right? The NA side is more well-rounded, and if we look at the scoreboard right now, the kills are so evenly spread between all those NA players.
Despite the Cav not having too many kills, they still played well. They had their hits and bumps, but you have to imagine that maybe if Laxer plays on France or UK, there's a huge difference in that first set. And we're gonna see whether that really plays in. We're gonna see what happens here.
So the final set on EU, all the pressure is on France. I would say here.
North America needs
pressure's on France.
Round, and I think if you're France, you have to be scared. Your infantry is clearly lacking.
Yeah, but I think the fact that it's the home server sort of, I don't know, it gives them more confidence. And I think when you're on your home server, even if you're against infantry that are better, you've got to take advantage of the fact that their pings are higher and just push, right? Because you have to play aggressively.
The big key is that I think the bigger thing for infantry is not that it's hard to fight maybe in melee, you adjust to it. But when Cav comes in, your spear timing and all that, your turn timing, it's all ruined. So the Cav has to play big here. We'll see whether I guess they're not going to decide to play Lagstro. I'd love to see it though. Even with 170, maybe he can muster some.
I don't think they're
going to go to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's extremely good as well. So
right. I mean, Jeffrey, he like we say, he hasn't played a lot recently, so he's really inconsistent. But there was that pickup party 3 or 4 days ago. I'm not sure it was, but he was absolutely mental. Like I don't even know. I was playing in that pickup. I think he was on your team, wasn't he, Jeff? And he was landing so many headshots in that.
I think in. He just has it. He's just a shooter, and Alice seems to have really warmed up now. In the first time, we didn't see him too
Alice
much.
Is playing great.
Last 2, he really warmed up. So we're gonna have to look to Jeff maybe to make plays. And I have no doubt in my mind that he can make big plays. I think in particular for the North American side, you're not worried about your archers. You're not worried about your imp. You need your Cav to survive.
Just talking about that set that's just gone by briefly, I have to agree with Menethil's comment there that playing Brian Archer was a massive mistake, and I agree because the French pings are playable, right? 90 to 100, as Menthil says, that's okay.
They don't need a gimmick.
You can genuinely win around with that. They don't like if they were 2-0 down, then they switch to a gimmick, right? To try and get that final round at the end. But from the start of the set, you just use a normal setup and you try and win.
It goes back to like what you said. Brian is elite at cavalry and infantry, and you've played him archer.
Yeah, like he's a good archer, right? But he's not an elite archer.
When you think about it, though, there's a component like in every component, like there's imp versus imp, cav versus cav, but there is also that archer versus archer, and when you're really not an experienced archer, it's all these extra things that weigh down on you. Especially now you're playing with higher ping, you're playing against a very skilled team, and you're playing like your class that you don't usually play. I think it's just a huge mistake from the French side.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And that they switched Brian to Cav, didn't they, in that final round? And already I saw him get like 3 bump stabs in that one round at the end, and like I think he hit someone in the back as well. So like he can do that damage even with that ping. And I think the French side panicked. I think they panicked. They were like they tried to gimmick where they didn't need to.
And you can't help but think the French side maybe they aren't they aren't taking this NA team lightly, and because of that maybe they overthought it.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. They overthought it. They tried to do more than they needed to. They tried to gimmick it where they didn't need to. They should have just played a solid setup and tried to win around normally with their 90 to 100 ping. And I think they would have had a better chance doing that.
You can't help but be a little bit scared of the French side. And then if the NA side on the exact opposite, you're still a bit scared as well. You regret losing that first round where you should have won.
Yeah, because if you're the NA side right now, if they had won that first round, NA would have actually just won the match.
Yeah,
Like,
it would have been over right now.
They would have actually just won the finals of the NC if they'd won that first round at this point. And yeah, I don't know. If I'm the NA side, the thing that's always going to be big in my head, right, is that if I was in a finals and I know we'd thrown the first round when we should have won it, and we're going into the final set, it would honestly hurt my morale, my mindset going into the last set.
I
So
have
we'll see.
I have the optimist perk, and I don't think I've ever been brought down by anything in a finals. Only one time in my life where we played WK in the semis and we were just utterly obliterated. I felt completely defeated. But if I was NA right now, my hopes would be extremely high, and I'd feel like it's within our reach. This is it. You know what I mean?
This looks like a 4-2-2 from both sides.
And Brian actually gonna Brian gonna be playing infantry. Peter gonna be on the Cav. So maybe they're going back to a bit of the roots. Peter is traditionally a Cav first. Brian is traditionally an imp first. I think this is probably the best. Yeah. I think the French side is opting for play everyone at what they're best at, and that's what you have to do when you have the ping advantage. Yeah. It's just play what you're best at, and you win usually if you just play the game normally.
Yeah. I mean that's the ultimate secret to playing against the high ping team. Just play normally. Exactly, just play your best classes, play solidly, don't do anything risky, don't do anything stupid, just play normally and you can win.
Oh, Jeffrey gonna go down maximum.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's not what the NA side won.
Shot in where I can't even see where he is. Right
where even is? Oh, he went round the side to like where the NA spawn is and shot.
Oh, and it looks like Alice was actually there, but I guess he couldn't.
Didn't see it or something. I'm not sure.
Didn't make a call. I guess I think that's a communication error.
That's unfortunate.
Will it affect the infantry going for the charge right now?
Lots of bunch PK.
Will the infantry go down? Oh! France actually picking up so many kills here, though.
So many kills all at once, and that's unfortunate. NA had the bumps. I think they got too optimistic. Because I think something like PPK bumped like 3 guys down, and then all the NA infantry just started swinging, and they died because they got too aggressive.
And that has to hurt if you're NA. That sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
just bodied.
Yeah, I mean and they didn't have Jeff up either because he got taken out. But I mean, if you're NA, right, you don't need to panic, right?
No,
you've lost one round, but even if they lose the set 3-0, they don't lose.
And not even that, you're playing against Rodox, who really got nothing going on after that first round. It's only gonna be swapped with a big horse, and a couple of the infantry with the helmets. These helmets actually play a big part. You glance off them a lot, but it's all hope is not lost. Still very winnable, and I think probably the worst flag is out of the way for the NA team.
Yeah, and
Crossroads.
The NA guys,
might want to put a shield on the crossbow cap sitting right around the corner.
Yeah, he's seen it in time. He saw it in time. Yeah. The NA guy, the French side, I think they're gonna push. I don't want an early engagement
here on the balcony. I don't know if this is actually the best option.
I don't think the French guys should, the NA side should take this fight. I think they should back off, which they are gonna do.
And the flag's actually down there. We'll see what happens. Alice gonna go into cover. Gonna see if he can get any sneaky shots off. Jeffrey maybe a bit disconnected from the team. He might be in trouble here.
No, I think he's fine. I think they're actually trying to bait the French into pushing him because then Alice has shots in their back.
And that would be almost ideal. You want Alice to shoot here. He's on fire right now. We need big shots from him.
But the French aren't taking it. They're not going to push. Both teams just sort of standing off. Neither one wanting to push forwards out of their crossfires. Paolo looking for a shot on Jeff.
Gotta be careful. Maximum sitting here on the left side. Can't shoot through these shields.
Yeah, Alice is under a bit of pressure actually by Paolo's position. Alice not really able to shoot.
Oh, Paolo's gonna drop down. Could he be in trouble here actually? If the Cav takes no.
Run away. No, he's out in time.
And still standing off with each other. We'll see which team makes the first move. I think whatever.
There is 1 minute 20 left. I think NA are gonna go. NA are moving down. It's risky because the French side can push them, and they're gonna do it. They're gonna push straight.
And they have the elevated. They have the high ground. Or Paul's gonna fire. Alice needs to take a big shot here.
French cabin first.
Brian picks the kill on Thor. The North American infantry is in trouble. Kell is caught off on the. They have to do something here. Brian caught him.
I think we're gonna see Winterberg, aren't we?
I think we're seeing Winterberg. And how does Winterberg work? Is it?
I think
one map, right?
One set on each. I think you play one set on home, one set on away, and you keep going till one side wins.
Wow.
I think we're about to get a very long Winterberg. I mean, I say this, but there's still 1 round left in the set, so maybe not. Maybe NA will win this final round, but I think at this point it's going to be Winterberg. If you look at the number of deaths on the French side, Only
None.
one of their players
Yeah.
has died. They're gonna have so much armor in this last round.
All hope is not lost. There's one possible round left if the North American side can.
I think the NA
muster a
infantry.
victory.
Yoshi, he's got 85 ping. He died to Brian really quickly, and I think the issue is when you're playing against Brian, and Brian is such a killer infantry, right? He gets so many kills as infantry, and he's only got 15 ping. When you're playing against that, you don't play aggressively, right? You play chill. And I think what they need to recognize, the NA infantry, is that the French guys have got Brian and Thor on infantry, but they've also got Vince and Moose, right? And they need to relax against Brian and Thor and put the pressure on against Vince and Moose.
I think the North American team has failed miserably at setting up their archers this set.
No, I agree. The archers got pushed in that archway, didn't they?
They haven't had a chance to fire once, I don't think.
Yeah.
The
And that's
in the
not
open,
good.
and you know what? This possibly is, I think, the
But
best
what-
chance. Oh, he came in for a guy. This is ambitious. He's dead. That was insane. Oh,
Wait,
but
he's
even
out.
the cavalry. The army's
He's
here.
out. He's out, but
Oh,
Force is
but
gonna
Brian
die.
Healy basically killing Florida. Florida just goes down instantly. But Yoshi,
Yoshi,
brutal
yeah.
TK on
Oh,
Guac.
TK. Max with the team kill too.
This could be it for North America. What can they do here? Swapping something kill on Cow. Jeff in trouble. Under fire from Peter. And it's
Kel
going
with a
back
kill
and
back.
forth.
Kel double kill.
Apollo gets the kill, and it's a 2 versus 4. Only the archers remaining. Can they do this? Swap
Ooh,
coming
Alice-
in, goes
Alice
to the
is
big
playing
bump, and
Alice
a
is playing
good shot.
infantry,
Jeff
but-
goes down. Oh, Alice is on infantry, yeah.
It's too
And you know
little,
what?
too late.
That was probably the best chance they had all
And
match. They
I'm
really
not
got
gonna
for it.
lie, if Yoshi hadn't done that team kill and if
I
Aporta
think they
hadn't
would've
died at the start, I think they would have won that round.
Yeah, I think the team kill more so than anything. Guac is I think the centerpiece of that infantry corps.
Yeah, a team kill, a careless early death, and that may well have cost NA that round. But France, I mean, they did a good job to come back from that. Maximu had a team kill, I think, didn't he? But
And it was even for a bit. Kel was going off, but Kel went down. And
yeah, it's a
and
draw.
You can't help but imagine. You can't help but imagine that if this is played on UK with the head of Lagstro,
I mean,
this
yeah,
goes differently. And if you're NA, you're kicking yourself. That first round you lost.
yeah, if
First
NA,
round ever lose.
yeah, generally NA losing that first round has NA losing that first round is genuinely going to force them onto Winterberg. They would have won already, but Watley's saying one round EU, 1 round NA. What?
Whoa.
Excuse me? 1 round
I think he
EU?
means set. I think he means set.
Does he mean set? Round. 1 round. They're going to decide it with 1 round. What? What?
This is
Both France and NA are both asking to be able to do sets instead of rounds because everyone knows that 1 round each side is mental.
absurd.
You know, you can just lose a round by accident and that's it. But no, both the French side are asking for it to be a set instead, and the NA side are asking for it to be a set. So I think this is one thing both sides agree on. They want it to be sets, but Watley
This is enforcing the rules. This is adminning at its
Watley is
finest.
enforcing rounds. I am taken aback by this decision.
This is what you hate to see, really. Oh, Frosthaven, genius.
Oh no!
This has to be one of the most poorly handled matches, I think.
Oh no! Why is it not sets? Why is it rounds? Oh, oh no! Oh dear.
So I think one team should run Berserkers.
I want to see one team going all 2 hands. I think everyone is going to have some problems with Watley.
They might as well have a fucking duel contest. Like, they might as well,
Line up for jewels in the middle
yeah,
instead.
like what is this? This is nonsense.
Yeah.
Good use of the word iteration from Watley.
So they do 1 round on EU, then they switch to NA, and then they do 1 round on NA, and then they switch to EU, and then they do 1 round. So they keep going backwards and forwards with 1 round.
Oh, Guac boy has said we give up.
Delay for Christmas. Oh, just do sets. Just do 1 set each. Just do a set each way.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
Nobody wants to do one round and then swap. That's absurd. That is absolutely absurd.
This is one of the worst matches I've ever seen. This is handled so badly. I couldn't be like, what is this? What is this?
Who knows? To swear time. Wait, EU,
I think
NA, NA, EU, EU.
EU, NA, NA, EU, EU. Well, no, that's not fair at all. That's not fair at all. Because because the thing about this, NA has a huge advantage here because EU plays the first round, and then NA could win 2 back-to-back and win the match.
Yeah, what? Are they? Is he doing a? Yeah, you can't do EU, NA, NA, EU. Because if you do 2 on NA in a row and NA win 2, then it's over.
Oh well, you know what? The NA team isn't worried at all. They're ready already because they can see victory.
Because NA have just seen that they're doing 2 in a row on their server, so they're fine. They're like, let's go.
This is if this happens, the French get shafted. I can't disagree with that.
What?
I think Wildly could be.
I'm genuinely just grabbing my head and I'm wondering what
look
on
at
earth is going on.
look at the NA team.
NA are like, start here, start here, start here. NA are desperate to
we're
start.
already here, of course, you know.
NA are desperate to start on the EU side because they know how much this favors them.
And maybe the French side has not really been reading into it too well, and they don't really realize what could be happening.
Yeah. I'm not sure. If the French guys don't realize what the
Guacamole boys.
I'd
have to agree.
I think everyone that's watching this right now is confused. It's going to be decided by 1 round each way. They
want to flip a coin. Holy shit, this coin flip is for NC. NC comes down to a coin flip. Peter says, let's just play.
Yeah, France are going to start here.
Oh, Lord.
They're starting here.
Could they have just written their death certificate?
France are going to agree to this. If I
would never agree to that.
I would never agree. I absolutely never. I would like be like, let's do one each way and switch one each side. But France are going to agree to it.
Wow, this is insane.
I'm taken aback. I am shocked. What is going on in this match?
I can't believe they agreed to it. Somebody has to say something. At the same time, though, the French demanded their French server, so it's only just that there's some retribution for the North American side.
But why is Watley? Why is it rounds? Why is it not sets? Who knows? But we're starting. We're starting on the French server.
I think Watley is starved and dehydrated and tired. Has no idea what he's doing anymore.
Yeah, but we're starting on the EU side, on the French server, and what's the setup?
And the North Americans are running a typical 2-2-4 with the all-pike drops.
Are they? Is that 2 crossbows? It's only 1, isn't it?
Oh, it's only...
NA running 5 infantry. 5 infantry, 2 cav, 1 crossbow from NA.
I like that, actually.
Yeah, I think it's smart for this map.
Alice is MP, yeah, I was gonna say.
Alice is a good infantry player.
Yeah, very good.
And I think France are doing exactly the same, aren't they? France doing exactly. Who's playing cav for France? Peter and Swap.
Peter, most likely.
Yeah, Peter and Swap. So who's the... Paolo's playing Imp. What?
Above Maximum. Maximum is much better.
Paolo, yeah, why would they not use Maximum Imp from Paolo Archer? Okay, but they've decided to run Paolo's infantry, which I think could be a crucial mistake, because I think they could take him out.
Imagine if NA wins here. There's no controversy at all.
NA are going to push this top side. Presumably they want to get their crossbows set up there, but it's risky. Porta standing facing off against Maximum. Maximum's looking for a shot on Jeff.
Ooh, you know what? We might have actually misread we didn't read into the rules, I think.
It may well be that they do 4 rounds, 4 single rounds.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, 4 single rounds. I think that's
But
actually it.
we'll see. Maximu's looking for some shots. Jeff and Maximu basically in mirrored positions. If you look at them from the side,
Yeah.
they're in exactly the same position on each side.
And this map is a perfect mirror.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Jeff's going to push
American side
Maximu. I think that's quite smart. Jeff going to push Maximu.
Yeah, I like that as well, because Maximu can clearly shoot better. Jeff's goal is to survive, and Glock's going to go down. Maximu just spamming Jeffrey. He's in trouble up there. Cal goes down to Peter. North America not looking too hot. Kills go back.
Yeah, this round's going to
rumbling
for sure.
Paulo actually surviving his infantry, but Brian, nice kill on Mouse. BBK, the only one left. Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff's
stuck in a duel with Maximu.
Not doing better than you can imagine. He held him off the entire round, but
yeah. And now they switch server. They do 1 round, and now we switch.
This is what I love to see.
I love switching servers.
Exactly. It's so easy to do in Warband as well. Very smooth, no errors usually. Cough, cough.
Oh boy.
Wow, this is a mess.
This is a mess of a match. I cannot comprehend why it's not 1 set on each side and then swap, but here we are.
Me neither. I think it'd be the same result, just better. No, this would be so heartbreaking if North America loses here. I could cry.
Yeah. It's so disruptive switching set every time as well.
Yeah, neither team can build up some momentum on the away set or anything like that. I mean, I hope both teams will be ready. Oh, wait. Is the NA team allowed to put in lag throw? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
See, this actually does play more in the favor of NA, I think. Or does it? I have no idea. Oh, yeah, it does, because it's 2 in a row for NA. I still think that's more of a... Again, you know what I mean? It's going to be like...
Yeah.
Advantage NA.
So the NA will play two in a row here. Why is it single rounds?
It's such an awful setup. Lord.
Why is it single rounds? I just can't believe it. I can't believe it's single rounds and not sets. Shema, once it goes live, they take it off the server list, so they don't need to change the password. Once it starts, they take it off the server list, so no one can join. But yeah, I guess both teams were presumably going to do the same setups, right? Except Jeff out for NA and Lagstro in will be the only change, I imagine. France looking to start, NA looking to start. Here we go, another single round. FRA Amerold has joined.
Is he actually a player?
No, so they need to kick him. In fact, I think I can kick him.
That's the hero we need.
Yeah,
oh, Brian spawning on the wrong side, maybe? Oh, Brian quickly realized his mistake.
Yeah, apparently there's no upgrades allowed, Shema, is what Watley said, but...
Yeah.
I think Watley might need to make that point a bit clearer. Because I think the NA guys might upgrade otherwise. I don't know if they will know that. But yeah, same setup from each side. Paolo playing infantry.
Now, I don't know what the North American side is choosing to do here. They should be the aggressors in this scenario. But, oh, you know what? Intuition. Oh, he's going to read after the round. Never mind.
Oh, he's going to read it. Okay. So, yeah, the French side pushing down this narrow alleyway. Narrow alleyway is always good for the lower ping side. And as we said, NA probably got the better infantry. So, NA should be quite happy to fight here if the French push a little bit further forwards.
A lot of all pikes out. And they also, both teams are running 5 infantry again.
Yeah.
See what happens. Lyso just taking pot shots. Maximin not really doing much.
NA gonna push. Peter coming in.
Peter's actually sitting right behind.
Guac's low. Guac's actually taking a lot of damage. This isn't looking good for NA.
No, they're actually getting pushed back. They're getting pushed out of this alleyway. And the French are getting 2 kills. This could be it. Oh, but 2 kills go right back in the North American favor.
Yeah.
Oh, another one kills
back.
PPK.
Yeah, PPK.
Pulling this back for North
the
America.
experience.
Do not want to lose.
The experience
Oh,
of
PPK
players like
really
PPK
showing.
and Cal. Yeah.
I love to see that. I love to see that. After all hope was seemingly lost.
Yeah, they pull it back and they win. And 3 kills for PPK in that round, 2 for Cal. Such experienced players, both of them, and
tied.
Really showing it.
So I believe it's a set of 4. So I don't think any just outright wins right here.
Yeah. So they play 4 and then they just keep going until one side wins 2 in a row, I guess. Until one side wins an away round.
I guess, right? And until one side wins 3 or 4.
Yeah. So it's not live right now, apparently.
No. Well,
Hello, really live. They're saying not live. Okay, it's not live. Okay.
Guag.
But yeah, we're gonna play another round on the NA server now.
You have to be a bit scared if you're North America. That was not the best round.
Yeah, that I saw at the start. Got hit like twice by Brian right at the beginning, and then a few risky plays, and it wasn't going great.
You gotta think the confusion of the same factions, especially with like a faction like Swadia, where everyone's pretty much wearing that red.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. It's a bit confusing. You don't like who's friend, who's foe.
Yeah, exactly. But I think so. We're going for single round system. It's gonna be. I don't know how this works exactly, but yeah, not a great showing for the NA side in that round. NA want a re.
Ooh. I don't think you get a re. I don't think you get a re.
I think.
Oh,
you get a re. All right. Yeah, France are gonna re.
The French side with insane honor right there.
They agreed to re. I don't think they had to agree to that. I actually don't think they had to agree to that.
No, because that was a live round, and the French side showing some French honor right there.
Some honor here from the French side, agreeing to a re when the NA side needed it. But we are now finally live on the NA server again.
The North American side banking on their flag once more. We've yet to see. I mean, the only showing we saw of the North American side on the outside in the open was pretty bad. So we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see.
You know what? I think it's better to bank towards the middle because you have no advantage just sitting there. You can run back anyways.
Yeah, it's interesting, but this is the thing. No one knows the Winterberg meta too well, do they? Because you don't play it very much.
Except for myself.
Except,
you know what?
Obviously for you. And
Guac, easy in chat. Clearly his intuition.
The NA guy is summoning the flags with some dark arts.
And most likely they will try and summon it in France. And so it looks like it's going to be the exact same engagement as it was last time.
Yeah, I don't know how much I like this because it didn't go that well for the NA guys last time.
Take a look what's going on here. They want to send some guys up. If you send guys up, you're done for because they just push. They end you. But
yeah, I don't think they should send someone up, and they're not going to. They're just going to wait in front of them.
Oh, here they go. The infantry fight begins, and it's all going to be hanging on this. Guac just cuts Thor down.
The NA guys need to relax. They didn't get too.
Oh, Mouse is a bad TK on Thor. That's the one guy you do not want to take down. And the North American side cleaning this up much better round than last time. Far less. Cow just decided to kill a Porta for his failure the drops in the first round.
Cow gonna kill. Cow destroying TK single-handedly.
Yeah, that's some bent up rage.
Yeah, so now they go back to France.
So now, like I said, the pressure's on for France because you have to win this round. It should have just been NAU. Simple.
Yeah, why not? The issue with making it rounds is that we have to keep swapping, right? If you make it sets, you don't have to swap every.
Yeah, you just do 2 sets. You do 2 sets.
You don't have to swap every 3 minutes if it's sets.
So, we're looking to NA to make the biggest play in North American history, win this round and win Nations Cup. First time ever, first finals, first win, 100% win-loss ratio in the finals. The greatest nation of all time.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It's the French server now, so the advantage heavily with the French side. NA are yet to win a round on the away. Obviously, both teams are yet to do that. NA though did have probably the best, the closest round. They got the closest to doing so with the draw in the first round. So they'll be looking to reiterate that performance, but.
You know what I've noticed ever since the French stopped playing around, they put Brian back on him, they put Peter back on Cav. Things have been going well for them, a lot better.
Yeah, I think that's how it should have been
From the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Brian is undoubtedly. I mean, Peter extremely good inf, but I think Brian is the better pure infantry player, and Peter is by far the better cavalry player.
Yeah. So to be clear with everyone, we're on the French server right now.
Yeah.
For people that are unsure in chat, this is the French server, and I believe we play. So if France win this round now, I'm pretty sure we do another round here and then go back to NA, don't we? I think it's 2 rounds here.
I think. Yeah, it's here. Then we go back to NA. Then it's 2 EU. Then NA. So like, he resets the pattern.
Yeah. So I believe it's 2 here unless NA win this round now. Which obviously is what they're going to be looking to do to win.
So
win
it is.
match.
It is midnight in Europe right now.
Yeah, it's 11 p.m. for me, so it's midnight for the French people.
Does that play into it? Do you think maybe they're tired now?
It is. I mean, it is getting late.
And tear of war.
Well, I mean, they knew it was going to be a late match anyway, so hopefully they prepared for that.
They've changed their sleep schedules accordingly. They've taken the necessary doses of caffeine to stay awake.
Yeah.
Every advantage you can get.
We need some drug testing on the French side. But Jeff is playing infantry. Jeff is playing infantry. They've switched Jeff to infantry. NA, have they got crossbow? They don't have a crossbow, do they? NA playing 5 inf 3 cav? Yeah, NA playing 5 inf 3 cav.
And Jeff is with a tank loadout.
I think they've just given him the heavy armor and told him to stay alive. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. If they can get an open fight here, the NA guys with 3 cav, it's difficult against the Swedish Allpikes, though, I won't lie. It's really hard against Allpike.
Well, you have the 6 to clean them up, and PBK gonna start making a move. The infantry's moving in. Maxwell gets the kill on PBK. He's just sitting there, wide open shot, but Walk gets the kill on Paulo, and this could be what NA's looking for. Walk's gonna go when he's landing, he hits, Thor's in trouble.
The NA guys need to stay alive now.
These guys are still alive. They're fighting right now. Cal's gonna kill on Thor. They're up. North America's up by 1. Brian caught in the corner.
They're doing it. Jeff with another kill.
NA is doing it right now. PBK the only one down. Guashing down a Peter. But Vince goes down. Cal beats the kill on Vince. Cal is in a maximum. It's so close right now.
The star players for France is still up. The star French players are still up.
Oh, Jeff goes down. A poor pickup.
4v4. Maximu.
A 3 versus 3.
Peter's free though. Yeah,
Peter, beautiful bump land there.
Make it happen. Peter's gonna make it happen.
Oh my God! What seemed like the hope for NA extinguished in an instant by Max and Peter.
And Brian left at the end. I don't think anyone is surprised that Maximu, Brian, and Peter can clutch something like that. And I think the mistake there is that NA, they killed all of. I mean, I don't want to be rude. The weaker French players, right? And then they got careless against Peter, Brian, and Maximu. And this is the thing. You have to be so... Those 3 players can clutch it. Like, those are 3 clutch players. And you have to be so careful against them all the time. No, we stay here. We play another round here.
Oh, Lord.
And that is terrible for NA. How many were they up by? 2 or 3?
3 at one point.
NA were up by 3 at one point. Yeah, they actually were up by 3 at one point, and they threw it.
Sorry, I have to actually restart, as I've encountered an error.
Yeah, that's not great from NA. They needed to chill there a bit. So the NA guys are ready. We're starting. Are you coming back to the server?
Yeah, I will be back momentarily. My new rig loads incredibly fast. Restart in under oh my God, I'm encountering this incorrect authorization key error.
That is not great. I think you need to restart your game, but right now it's going live again. Another re. Cal has gone on the wrong team. So there's another re.
These are mind games. These are mind games you can play by the NA side, I believe.
Yeah, it's another re though. Going live now. I need streamer. I think definitely does team.
The password is incorrect. I need the password. So
let me
Steam that.
Alright, I've found it. Let me send it to you on Steam. Okay. I've got streamer. So the NA guys, I believe, running the same setup again. Yep, 5 MG 3 cav for NA.
And I must say, I was actually a fan of that, but maybe the better setup is to run 1 cav, 1 archer, and 6 M.
1 cav? I don't know. I think the thing, right, if you have Allpike cav, even if they've got high ping, if you just run in and stab someone in the bank, you probably one hit.
Oh, you know what? This could be the flag exactly that NA wanted.
Yeah, I think that open fight was good for NA before, though. NA definitely want to back off and fight around the flag area. I think they don't want to fight in too closed
Do
position
not
with
want
their
to give
3
that
cav.
position up to Maximo though to fire up top. He's gonna be untouched for
That's
the whole
true.
round.
That's true. It's difficult for NA deciding where they want to take this fight with their 3 cav setup. The mid is the best place for 3 cavs fight, but they're not going to get that.
And Maximo gonna set up top comfortably. But we'll see what happens. Oh, maybe this is a chance for NA. Maximo's out of position.
Yeah, they should push. They should push it.
And looks like the enemy infantry will
They're
go in.
gonna do it.
Alice is gonna stand on the flag. I don't know
Moose
if
is
that's all-
caught. Moose is caught. They're going to kill him straight
And
away.
Paulo goes down. But Paulo goes down. It's a trade. Kills back and forth. But oh, Yoshi goes down to Brian. Elements to go for the NA side. Can they fight? Can they
Still
survive
close.
here?
Still close.
Oh, Brian picking up kills. Gets the calves.
Devastating.
Oh, but 2 kills going right back towards the North American side. Gets all tied up. Guac goes down. Thor careless there. But still very, very winnable. In the balance, Thor goes down.
Winnable,
Poor
yeah,
play.
Jeff.
Jeffrey showing that he's not completely useless on this infantry. There's a second kill. They have to defend a Porter to let give him a chance to get back up, but a Porter goes down. Brian just gets oh, Brian.
Yeah, Brian did.
Disgusting. And look
Brian
who it is.
absolutely
Look what 3 it is again. Plus swap this time around, but
Yeah.
still those same old 3. Brian 4 kills. He's unstoppable. They can't stop him.
But that can't be reassuring for the French side, right? 2 rounds there, NA almost won. NA almost won both rounds on the French server there. That is...
So what is it now? 2 in a row in North America?
Yeah, 2 in a row in North America.
And I think if you're
unfortunate
NA,
for
your
NA,
confidence
but-
is rising.
Yeah, unfortunate that they didn't manage to win either of those rounds, but they almost did, right? If you're NA, you're thinking we almost won 2 rounds on the French side in a row. not just 2 rounds in the whole match, 2 rounds in a row they almost won.
Also, if you're North America, you might want to scour the roster, find somebody who's maybe a better infantry player than Jeffrey, despite Jeffrey not doing that bad, but maybe somebody who's purely infantry.
Yeah, it would be ideal if they could find someone to fill that role, but Jeff he's doing a solid job of it, and I think they're giving him the tank build just to help his survivability.
And you know what's working? I see him surviving. He's surviving longer than most of the guys. He's getting some damage in. He picked up 2 kills in both rounds. So
yeah, but obviously now back to the NA server, and
you have to be uncomfortable if you're France, but we have to see how France performs now on the away set.
So I'm not entirely sure how this works. So if France were to win this round or the next round, do they then go back to EU to decide it?
Okay, I'm not necessarily sure, but I believe it's going back to the EU, NA, EU. So you have to win. You have to win one of these little 4-round sets.
Yeah.
But see, I don't know why didn't we restart the cycle, right? We did NA or EU, NA, EU. We should have done NA, EU, NA. In like spirit of fairness, right?
Yeah. But definitely, even if even if NA lose this round, if NA lose this round, they should still go back to EU, so they have a chance to bring it back.
Yeah, this is a new 4-round set. EU is up 1 in this little 4-round set.
Yeah.
So we've had 1 draw on the 4-round sets. The first 4-round set was a draw. Looks like Alice has crashed. Oh, he's back.
He's fine. So, but we've only played in. So is it 2 NA now? It must
2
be 2
NA
now.
Yeah, 2 NA then 1 EU. I'm not sure who decided on this format. I don't know if it's as fair as I'd like it to be, but I guess it's not bad.
Yeah, I think it should just be sets, to be honest. I think doing sets would make it just a lot easier for everyone. But
so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, both teams waiting to start.
Both teams are ready. Watley sleeping.
Right. Yep, it's Reed starting. Finally, this match is actually going to go on for some time, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, I think it's going to go on for a while.
But it's unfortunate for NA. Kel's gone on the some people going on the wrong team, but yeah.
I believe there actually is a bug when both factions are the same or something like that. Like,
yeah, it does look like
clearly something seems to be bad about it.
Yeah, but no, both sides spawning in. NA, are they doing the a Porter Cav Lagstro Imp? They're using Lag Imp instead of Jeff.
Lag's probably a better imp than Jeffrey. I believe so at least. And Lag's also got that Turkish kick, so.
France doing Paolo's cav. France are doing 3 cav. Okay, so
They've
France
matched. They've matched
France are
lineups.
copying them, and so is Maximum Infantry. Yeah, yeah, he is Maximum Infantry.
So
So both
yeah.
sides doing 5 inf 3 cav, and honestly, it looks like that's the setup that works best. I mean, we can't deny how well that worked for
Well,
NA in
Winterberg's
those past few
surprisingly
rounds.
open.
Yeah, they're gonna fight in the open space where both sides can use their 3 cav. Maximum going into dual guac under
Oh,
the
PPK,
stairs.
nice bump. Oh, Kel
Maximum
goes
the
down.
first kill.
Oh,
Black
Black's
Joe's
gonna go
gonna
down too, actually.
Oh, he survived.
He managed to survive. Gets back up, pulls his shield up, but PPK goes down. It's not gonna go for the North American side. 2 are down. Vince goes back.
Yoshi with a kill back.
What can the North American side do here? They have to muster something. They need some kills. Oh,
that's what they needed.
TK's
That is what
ball,
the NA
exactly
side
what you
needed.
want.
It's even.
A Porta, nice
Porta
kill on
won
Brian. Oh, there you go, Alice.
That team kills turned the balance, and
Yeah. But
kills
it's
back.
over. Swap for
3v4.
to lose here. Nice. Alice destroys the shield. Cow faces the kill. It's only Brian and Mouse, or Peter and Mouse. My bad. Sorry, guys. Peter doing a nice bump. Just barely missed the bump lands. Peter. Don't try to do something here. Doesn't really matter.
Gonna take the round, but these rounds are so. Even though it's home away, these rounds are all so close. You know, on the French server it's close, and now on the NA server it's close.
Oh, Peter's in trouble. Probably just a matter of time before he gets dismounted, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
Okay.
And France with the early advantage in that round. Cal a bit risky against
So,
playing a bit risky against Maxmu.
do you know what I think? You know what I think might be the key to winning this? Clearly, North America found the comp that was doing better first, and maybe it's up to them again to find a comp that beats this 5M3 cav.
Yeah, maybe if they can evolve, but I think they want to stick with this on their home server now. But maybe they'll switch the.
If I was North America, I think I'd literally go 6-2, and have that extra advantage to make sure you really win that infight. Because I think once it gets that clustered, 3 cav can't really do much, right? Two's kind of your limit for cav coming to the fight. So maybe North America looks to play another.
It depends. Yeah, if you can keep it in that fight there, like Lagshow was split off, and there was quite a lot happening in the open. So I think there was some room for cav to move. But when the fight happens in the alleyways, there definitely isn't room for 3 cav.
So we'll have to see. Winterberg proving to be more interesting than we could have ever believed.
Yeah, and playing another round now on the NA side. So this will be the second round on the NA side before they go back to EU. Presuming,
this has
of
to be
course,
the most confusing finals of all time.
Yeah, 5 and 3 cav from both sides again. But this time, Brian is playing cav.
Brian on cav, and I think that's a mistake, personally.
And they've put Paolo infantry and Brian cav, and I have to agree with you because Brian has been absolutely slaughtering people as infantry the whole match. Whenever they put Brian infantry, he's got a ton of kills.
If they keep this up in EU, I think this could be their fatal mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that he's a brilliant cavalry as well, but just look at how well he was doing as infantry.
He's the best inf on this French team, without a doubt.
Yeah, he's playing so well as infantry today. And instead they're using Paolo.
You can't help but imagine that Brian has to be saying like, play me cav because our cav's not doing much.
Yeah, but the fight's going to start. Yoshi with an early push in. They're going to take Paolo out quickly, I think.
Oh, Lagshow goes down. Peter gets the early kill. France up again, but Thor goes down instantly to PPK. PPK getting the kill right back. Probably a better trade. Maxmu gonna go down to Cal.
Yeah, Cal doing a good job.
The North American side, I'm on Glock here. He's fighting in the mess of it. On the French side, this might be.
They're trying to take Paolo down.
And this is a bit more convincing for the North American side. And you know what? This is a testament. This is what happens when you play Brian Cav. Yoshi again slaughtering his friendly infantry.
I have to agree because
for Cal.
Brian's been doing such a good job as infantry. You can't when someone's playing that well as their main class, you can't take them off him, right?
Well, especially when he is clearly the backbone of that whole infantry corps. Without him, we saw them crumble right there. PBK, nice move there on Peter.
Yeah.
And we're gonna head back to EU. The pressure is on the French, and I can't help but imagine if Brian stays cav, this could be huge trouble.
Yep, definitely, and it's so tough. It's so tough because both teams now they're in a cycle. It's clear that the home side has the advantage, but it's also clear that both teams can win on the away, right? We've had loads of close away rounds. At this point on Winterberg, we've like so many of these away rounds have been close. So both teams need to be thinking, what do we change to get that one advantage? And I don't think the right decision is Brian Cav. I don't think that's what you change.
I personally think it's the 6-2 Cav. For the away team, you need that infantry advantage, especially if they're going to run 5 and 3 again. Having that one extra inf just boosts your survivability all around the board.
Yeah, and this is so intense, right? Because this is the thing, every single round has got to put so much mental pressure on every player, right? This must be like playing in a match like this where you're swapping constantly every single round is so crucial.
And every
Like the
mistake you
mental
make
pressure.
is you
Yeah.
know you're making mistakes. It just hurts.
Yeah, the mental pressure in this match has got to be incredible, and I think it will actually come down to whichever team feels that pressure the most first and cracks. Because
Most
that at
definitely.
some
I
point
mean,
that's going to happen.
any team is capable of losing. But I mean, as it goes right now, it seems NA has been the more dominant team, at least in terms of we saw it
No,
in that first
I
set,
agree.
and we've seen
In
it in
the
Winterberg.
Yeah, 2 rounds in a row on the away side, NA almost won. That first round, they brought it down
Yeah.
to a 3v3 or something, didn't they, on the away?
Well, they were
And
they were up by 3
yeah,
the one
they were
round,
up.
and that should have been
Yeah,
it, I believe. But
they were up, but they got careless against Brian, Peter, and Maxmu. And Brian, Peter, and Maxmu are all, I mean, all three of them, they're in contest to say they're the best player in their class in the world, right? You can say
yeah, for sure.
Maxmu's the best archer in the world. You can say Brian's the best imp in the world. You can say Peter's the best cav in the world. So like, against three people like that, you can't be careless. Even when you're like 6v3 or 5v3, whatever it was, they got careless and they lost.
And we'll see if there's any change from the North American side. And there is. They've gone 6 infantry, 2 calves. Somebody's watching the stream.
Somebody's watching the stream. Someone has heard Thunderview's advice, and they've done it. A Porter's got infantry
And
to beat
I
the
believe, in
final.
fact, the French have copied. Oh,
Have they?
no, they've gone back to the crossbow, and I think...
Maximus crossbow.
And I don't know if that's actually what you want.
I am shook.
Now thinking about this, we were talking about, oh, you want the infantry numbers, right?
Yeah.
It's 5, and you don't even have that extra cav to help fight infantry. You have this archer.
So have NA only? Sorry, have France only got one cap?
2 cav,
they got
1
two.
archer, and
And
5
5
infantry.
in.
Now the
Okay.
flag is on North America with these 6 infantry. My God.
So
This,
NA are gonna presumably they're just gonna go into the alley with 6 inf, right? That's what I'd do.
yeah, and have their cav just smash and or maybe
Have
they
NA
just hold
not
the
seen
flag.
that? Have they not seen? I think they should fight to the left here in the alley.
Oh, PPK.
I don't think they should hold the flag. I think it's PPK. Is that
Oh,
Cow?
Cow's in trouble. PPK actually blocked Cow, and
Cow's gonna die. Yeah, Cow's gonna die.
PPK sacrificed Cow. He blocked him so badly right there.
That's not good because I think NA have the advantage in terms of setup here. I think the NA setup is better than the French
Well,
setup.
we have to see what happens here. I don't like Maximu being on crossbow.
Maximus going to be on top, but NA need to push. If I'm
And
NA,
he needs to push
100%
into the
you have to
alley.
push.
They got to put in right now. And Yoshi always showing aggression.
Yeah, Maximus up.
And what's
They're
going to happen here? They're going to back into the corner. They want to play the count. The infantry's going to be in, but the infantry has to pull out here. They have to fight.
Yeah, Maximus already making it
Good
work.
shot,
You
but
can't.
still going back and forth. But not much they can do. PPK comes in for the kill. The infantry's going to go down. If the infantry crumbles and the North Korean infantry stands.
Ooh, NA are doing
NA
it.
turning it back. Swap.
4v4.
It's a 4 versus 4. Yoshi picks it
NA
up.
up by 1.
4 versus 3. North America has to buckle here. Yoshi terrible team kill.
Yoshi
Terrible
with
team
the
kill
worst
right there.
team kill.
That is the worst team kill in NC history. That could possibly cost the match right there. No infantry left. And that team kill is...
I think Peter should dismount. I think Peter should dismount and
needs
play
to
with
dismount
Maximus.
because Maximus in trouble here.
Ooh, that's a nice shot on Jeff. Peter needs to dismount.
Oh,
yeah.
Yoshi
they've thrown it.
And Yoshi has to be red in the face. He has to feel awful right now. He just threw what is possibly their best chance at winning so far.
Yeah, that is comparable to the fabled Hopkin team kills of several years ago. Yeah, Iri pointing out in chat that is Shamatu, that's comparable to the Hopkin throw. That's awful.
I feel really bad for Yoshi because I play with Yoshi in the fantasy league and almost similar to this.
Yoshi's a brilliant player. Like, he's a brilliant infantry and a great cav, and one mistake, that's it. That costs them that round, and they actually could have won that and won the entire match one round.
My heart actually hurts a lot right now because I played with Yoshi in WFL. We were in the finals, and almost similar to this, Yoshi killed Guak on the flag, very important round, and he's an emotional guy. I know this type of thing gets to him, so hopefully it's not gonna, hang on him for the rest of the rounds. But like, if a lot of guys in that position, you make a terrible TK like that, and your heart hurts. You know what I mean? Like you get that feeling, you get that lump in your throat, your stomach hurts, your heart hurts. Like,
yeah,
you can't help but feel like guilty, and I hope.
And as Shema pointed out as well, in that very first round that NA almost won, Yoshi team killed in that as well.
Yeah.
So Yoshi potentially with 2 team kills in crucial rounds.
He's been playing so good. He plays so good. He plays so good.
He's been playing great all match, except for these 2 moments where he's potentially taken victory out of the hands of NA. Because that was, keep in mind, NA were down 1 man at the start of that fight. Cal died before that fight started, and they still, even with 7v8, almost won that round.
I think this goes back to what I was saying, that infantry advantage is huge because the NA infantry is just so much better, it seems.
Yeah.
And then once you get that big infantry number, Guac taking an early shot, nice shot from Peter, saving that crossbow shot. And the French infantry really wants to just push in here.
The NA guys,
it's not
I
the
think
best spot,
they
though. 6 infantry. This ain't what you want.
Yeah, I think NA should push hard back in.
And look, that's exactly what they're going to do. The infantry is going to begin. PBK coming in, not going to be able to bump anything.
Ooh, Brian taking that quick.
Guac going to destroy Brian in a 1v1. Guac showing his grit. And
Yoshi with another kill,
goes down, goes down. Huge advantage.
Double kill there.
Picks up 2, he can't get much, but they're up. North America's up huge. 6 versus 4. North America couldn't stabilize right now and back up, but PPK is on. Oh, he looks like he's going to go down.
PPK needs to get out.
Oh,
no,
Guac gonna get shield stun.
They're gonna throw another one.
Jeff is caught offline. Oh my goodness, a throw for North America here.
Another.
PPK staying in. Guac trying to help him.
Look out.
How much you can do? Quarter in the 1 versus 3. And my God, if you're France, you have to be shaking though.
I feel for the NA team so hard. 3 rounds in this match. 3 rounds that NA have thrown that they could and should. I mean, what was that, 6v4? Was that 6v4?
6 versus 4. PPK made in my eyes, a very bad decision to stay on maximum.
6 versus 4. PPK got caught at the back. Guac got shield stunned.
Well, you could tell that Guac was obviously trying to.
He wanted to push.
Yeah, he wanted to help PPK, and
he wanted to push, and the other ones backed off, and it's like either decision is right. Either you all push or you all come back. But if your infantry squad split, half do one thing, half do the other, you lose. You can't split. And that was the French server, Charlie. So NA almost won again, just like before. NA almost won both rounds on the French server.
From what I've got news, apparently Guac is being blamed for that defeat right there.
Oh, because he pushed. I mean, it's
partly his fault, I believe. I've gotten another incorrect authorization key error coming back to this damned French server.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can blame Guac at all. Guac destroys Brian in the 1v1, gives you all the advantage, takes out the best infantry player, allowing you to get up 6-4, and he's receiving blame. Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, it's going on and on and on and on, but every single time on the away side, the NA guys are almost winning it. And that's, I mean, you've got to be worried as France, right? France have to be worried about that.
The fact that this NA team is so good, but from what I hear, they've told Guac to leave, and if Guac leaves, that team has no chance.
They've told him to leave?
From what I've heard. Is he on the server? I still can't connect. Oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with the server?
A porter can't connect to it either.
Something's terribly wrong with this.
Yeah. Something is going on. I have no idea what... Could go on for a very long time. Guac definitely should not leave. Because
he's the only reason they're winning these infights in my eyes.
They definitely need... All of the NA players need to... They're doing well. Like they're so close to winning these away rounds.
Still incapable of connecting the server.
But this is the thing, right? If your team starts blaming each other, it brings the team morale down. And once the team morale goes down... But this is the thing, right? You know when your team clutches around, it brings your team morale up? Do you agree? I mean, that's my experience. Do you agree?
Without a doubt. But the thing is, I can't even look at it as because in this scenario, you never want to get to the clutch in the first place.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like the French guys are breathing.
France, it's a sigh of relief.
Yeah, every time they clutch, they breathe a sigh of relief, and every time the NA fail when they have the advantage, it brings their morale down. I think, and especially once you start blaming each other. Once they start pointing fingers and saying, you know, this person's responsible, this person's responsible, I think that brings the team morale down as well. So I don't know. I think the NA guys need to keep a cool head and just the NA guys need to focus on the fact that they're almost winning these rounds and just keep going until it happens.
Can't believe that they get mad at Guac, but they can't get mad at Yoshi, for example. Guac is mentally one of the most resilient guys I've ever played with. I'm quite a bully to him, so I know that he has more than enough to handle whatever this NA team wants to pick on him for.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know how much of that is true beyond what you're hearing.
Well,
Obviously we're not in.
From the certain person I heard from, I doubt he would ever rag on this certain player like Guac. So
Right,
if he's
indeed,
saying
but
something, I can only imagine that it's.
yeah. Okay, so they're switching to a different French server, so that a porter can connect.
Or
'cause he
American
can-
server?
No, a different. Sorry, was that the American server we were on just then? It was,
Did we
wasn't
not
it?
just finish in EU, right? America just.
Yeah. So we're going to a different American server because
Yeah.
the porter couldn't find that one.
Always it's this master server nonsense that Till Worlds keeps messing up. So.
Yeah. Oh boy, we are in a marathon match right now. 2 hours on from the match start time, we are.
I gotta
Obviously,
say, it's been quite a lot of fun.
yeah, it didn't actually start on time, obviously, because there was all that
Huge
drama at
delay
the
with
beginning.
nonsense, etc., But
Yeah,
let's get on track. Has a porter been able to connect? He is on the server.
Yeah, so Porter's made it, so we should be able to get started. And we might. I mean, it's getting late in France now. It's so it's midnight in France. But I mean, look, I don't think the time affects you too much because I think when you're playing with this much tension and this much tension
The adrenaline keeps you awake.
Yeah, and it's constant, right? Because it's like with it being one round to win each side, the tension is constant.
Wish I could say a word to my friend Guac.
Well, you can message him, can't you?
He's gone. He's signed out, so won't get any messages.
Oh. Maybe you should spawn in and type to him.
I can't. I respect my position as spectator and commentator, not a.
Not a player. Yeah, the server password has changed. They're asking to kick someone. Yeah, they've been kicked.
And here we go live for what round would this be? Second round of the third set.
Yes. This is the first NA round.
Yeah, first NA round of the third.
Yeah. So we just had two rounds of France, which the first, the second one, France.
The second one was the first round of the set.
Yeah, right. So France managed to clutch that, and some drama on the NA side about losing that. Jeff is back in for NA as an infantry. They've gone back to 5-3.
I guess they believe that Jeff is the better infantry over Laxro.
Yeah, I think Laxro did die quite quickly twice.
Jeff has proven to be quite reliable.
I mean, it depends. It depends on the day, right? All of these things come down to the day. Even Laxro, I think, normally is a better infantry than Jeff. But today,
Jeff's never really played infantry ever, but
yeah,
he's a very skilled player in all classes.
But yeah, today for sure we can say Jeff is doing better than at infantry than Lag is. So Brian's playing infantry for France. They're running 6-2.
All right, so that's the strat that I think is the best. The French seem to be behind on the strategies, copying the North Americans each time. And the engagement begins. Can the Cap really make a difference? Porter coming in from the back, just gonna get stopped. He's gonna go down instantly.
Porter's gonna go down quick.
To see it, and no one capitalized on him turning their back. He's actually gonna go down.
Alice kills for NA. It's close though. It's very close. NA up by 1.
Difference. Peter goes down. That's a big kill, but PPK TK's Kel, and Guac goes down. It's a 3 versus 4 with the French. Can they pull it out? Oh, and looks like the North Americans.
3v2. Yeah, NA.
Guac goes down. Yeah. Only going to be Thor left on his feet. Can he make anything happen?
It's close though. What's incredible is that it's close every single time, which means it's like you would think, right? If NA are almost winning on the French server, you'd think they'd clean sweep it on their home server, wouldn't you? But it's not like that. It's close everywhere. It's close away. Yeah. It's close at home. It's close on every single server right now for both teams. And
Yeah.
that's crazy to think about that it's close everywhere, but it is. And Shema point out in the chat, stat manipulation from both teams. Both teams boosting their stats with Winterberg.
By the end of this match, every single player on these teams will be topping. They'll be the top 16 on the leaderboards.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some players here easily with over 30 kills, don't there? I imagine there's some players with over 30.
I believe actually Wally got the score wrong. Is it 5-5? 2-2, 2-2. Oh, 1-1. It is 5-5. Yeah. I was made to doubt by Roberta, who backed himself as the score wrong. I honestly imagine a duel to win.
That would be, well, I mean, I think France would win that because they've got Peter and Max.
Yeah, they got Peter. We don't have like Oodle or Tito here.
Yeah, so the fight's happening in mid, which I think is better for more cav.
Yeah, we'll see who really has the advantage.
Ooh, NA with a clean round.
Yeah, NA just stomping right here. No nonsense. Brian picks up a kill on Kel. Yoshi and Brian a little all-pike duel here.
I think the NA cav, sorry, the French cav were late for that fight.
Very late. They didn't come in time at all. And yeah, North America.
If you're on the away server without cav support, you're gonna lose the melee fight quite quickly.
And we go back to Europe, where we will.
Yeah, and that's got Yoshi with 5 kills in that round. Yoshi, we gotta say, in some of the important moments he's throwing it, but then in some of the important moments he's playing brilliantly. So not letting it affect him clearly.
I think he's grown as a player. We're going to which France server? France 2?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I'm just refreshing it and waiting to see which one gets players on, and then winning that one.
Right. And it looks like we've changed the server as well as the other French server has the same incorrect authorization key error. So something's going on. This never a finals without controversy, etc., etc.
Yeah, some controversy about the decisions, about this setup for Winterberg. Some drama on both teams, but
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it. I kind of like it actually.
You like one round each way?
The intensity is so high, man. Every single one of these rounds is coming down to the wire, and I think maybe you wouldn't get that same intensity in a set as like you just get demoralized. You're like, fuck it, we're not gonna win this one. So
yeah,
the rounds put so much more pressure.
Yeah, I agree that it puts a lot of pressure on. It makes every round feel really really intense. Which, I mean, in some ways that's good. Personally, I prefer sets still, but this definitely creates more pressure and more tension.
So, the North American team looks to take this finals, become first-time champions.
Yeah. On the French server now, where NA have been doing brilliantly, let's be clear, 4 rounds now. 4 rounds now, NA have almost won on the French server. And obviously they're going to be looking to finally close one of those out. You're lagging, by the way, if you're talking. Your ping's gone up massively. But both teams approaching the mid. NA backing off from it, not wanting to get too close, using 6 infantry again on the NA side, which is obviously what they think is better for the away server.
Now, this might sound insane, but what if you go to 7 infantry? As clearly the M-fights dictate this fight.
I don't think that will work. 2 long pike cavalry, you got to take advantage of it, right?
This is it. This is where North America had probably the most success they ever had. Yoshi had the TK on the flag. This is probably where North America wants to be. The Cavs coming on the side. This could be brutal. They're going to slow down. They don't want to fight. Yoshi already with his all-pike out. And, you know, I didn't even think about that concept. There's no archers. These infantry are free to pull out their 2-handed weapons.
Yeah. I'm surprised, actually, we haven't seen any two-handed swords.
Yeah,
like,
I think that might be
or bastard swords, even. Yeah. I think you could genuinely use a bastard sword and, like, maybe we'll get a one-hit at the start of the fight. Ooh, Yoshi.
For sure, yeah.
Trading hits.
Yeah, trading hits between one another. I don't know who's got the better of who, as I don't have the stream. Yoshi, or Cal.
Ooh, Yoshi goes in.
2 kills for yours. Yoshi, you're redeeming himself. Oh, but 2 kills go right back towards the French side. Yeah. It's all tied up. Another kill going towards the French side. Oh, 2 more.
France not capitalizing
France
on,
up
on this
6
space
versus
Yoshi created.
4. Yoshi goes down.
That's Yoshi goes in with that ult pike, 2 incredibly quick kills, and the rest of the NA
Oh,
team just
Alice.
collapses.
Alice PPK. Oh, not enough. Yoshi literally unreal kills. Yeah, and you're right. The other team, I believe they split
They
up a little
collapse.
bit, and they crumble.
I mean, look, if one of your guys gets 2 kills at the start like that, every single other player on your team thinks,
You know what? You know what
fucking
I'd
right
advocate for?
click.
I'd advocate for a long all pike in one of these infantry, as everyone else is running a short all pike. That long all pike, you'll just outrange everyone.
Like,
You'll do some massive damage with it, like to use as an infantry.
like surely you agree with me here, right? If you get 2 players up, all your team needs to do is right click and you win the round just by the fact that you've got 2v1s going on, right? Surely you agree.
Yeah, strictly by virtue of being up numbers. Yeah.
Like if Yoshi gets 2 kills, you're 8v6 in the round, right? If everyone on your team plays carefully and you just win the 2v1s, you win the round, surely.
Yeah.
And yet they got those 2 kills, and then but this is the thing about momentum in Warband, right? If you get 2 kills, everyone on your team's like, oh, we're gonna win the round. Everyone starts going mental. Everyone starts left clicking and spamming and thinking they're gonna win, don't they?
Yeah, the ability to buckle down and stabilize is. I mean, it's hard, dude. Especially whenever your ping is worse. It is harder to play safer
Yeah.
when your ping is high. So even the simplest of plays become harder, and then like you said though, you get hyped up. You want to go for it, and with high ping, you can't really just dominate them like you normally would.
Yeah, you can't. Even when you're 2 up, you can't just start spamming because you're not gonna spam as quickly as them. And this is the thing: you get 2 up, you just gotta chill. You take the advantage in the round. You just gotta chill. Everyone right clicks, everyone buckles, and you win by attrition just by the fact you've got more people alive.
And now this is huge though, because we're gonna start the 4th set in Europe, and North America clearly just had some success. If they can, fix their errors.
Winning these rounds. They just need to focus. They need to chill. They need to.
This is the most aggressive approach we've seen from the North American
both
team.
teams going for a fight in the middle. PPK running into Swap and Peter doing a bit of damage.
Peter taking some damage on his horse actually. And the Engager's going to begin. North America coming in with Fury.
Ooh, PPK almost taking Palo out immediately.
So it goes. Maxwell gets the first kill on Yoshi, who was the highlight of last round. Blows being traded back and forth. First kill for
Alice with the kill back. Alice with the double kill.
Tied up. Walk's hitting the back, but he goes down finally.
Yeah, France gonna take this one.
Picking up kills, securing this round.
This is this is so intense. This is one of the most intense war matches I've ever watched. We're now at
50k minutes, and you can't help but think everyone just leaving server instantly. They know. Get out of here. We gotta go back to NA.
This is absolutely incredible. Oh boy.
Okay, we have a little.
It's gotta feel. It's gotta feel so bad if you're Yoshi, right? I mean, everyone's saying in the chat the character arc of Yoshi. I've got to agree. Like,
yeah, Yoshi has an unreal character arc.
Yeah, he's been throwing rounds. He's been saving rounds. You know, it's been all over the place for him. And I don't know if you're Yoshi, that round where NA were up by 2.
Do you think? I mean, you almost think he has to be the swing player here. Guac has been playing very well for the infantry, and Yoshi, whenever he's on fire, Alice has been playing extremely stably as well. I think Alice has been a very good core piece for infantry, but whenever Yoshi plays extremely well, it looks like it's all over. And then he just takes it away from them. Side. He gives, but he also takes.
He gives and takes, yeah. But when he gives big time. And the rest of the NA team, when they see that Yoshi's giving, they need to relax and let him do that, and then just play calmly.
You can't help but imagine that he's getting those kills, he's getting so excited, and then all of a sudden the pressure just gets him and he just fucks up. And change the password if you can manage.
But it wasn't Yoshi that fucked up in that round. He got that double kill.
No, it was the rest of the infantry that split up. I saw them split up.
Yoshi got that double kill, and then he survived for a long time after that.
Oh.
Like, I mean, I kicked him and he joined back, so I'm just not
Musababa.
But yeah, I mean, Yoshi, he got that double kill. He survived. Yoshi, after he got that double kill, he survived 1v2 for the rest of the round.
Yeah.
So realistically, the rest of the NA team was playing 7v5, and Yoshi was holding 2s, and yet I don't know. once you're up when you're playing home away, if you're away, if your team gets an advantage, you've got to all play so carefully because if you can't lose your advantage. Because it's like if you're down on your home server, right? You can play really aggressively because you're playing against people with high ping. So you can just play really aggressively and you can get some quick kills. You can't get those really aggressive quick kills easily.
Especially
with
in a
high
1
ping.
versus 2 with high ping, it's hard for the two guys to coordinate and to hold, right? Like holding is just that much harder with the ping. So when you're in 1v2, you can actually do a lot when you have good ping and they have bad ping. It's not exactly a game over.
Yeah, this match going on for ages. We are about 2 hours. No, I think the match started more. It's not quite 2 hours since the match started, because of that delay there was at the start with that drama. But
You know what? I think keep going. Somebody's gonna win. I can feel it.
we are getting close to that, aren't we? Every single round now, every single round on home and away is being super close.
And I think at least in terms of momentum, North America has to be feeling good. They've literally had it in within like they touched the victory with their fingertips, right? They felt it. They fumbled it around a little bit and just dropped. But it's definitely still closer to them. All they have to do is take a couple steps forward and pick it up.
Watley's saying if France draws, it's over. What? Why does a draw make it over?
What? So now they're saying if France manages to draw a round, then France wins as they're up 2. Apparently.
Possibly, but I mean the only reason France is up 2 is because it's.
Now, I don't believe a draw should matter at all. I think if it's a draw, you have to play another round. That's it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I believe that round is null.
That's how we do it in first to threes, but
I think it's just gonna be like that.
Yoshi's not here. Yeah.
Yeah, he's there at the bottom.
The NA guys are all typing that he's.
Oh, NL. Okay, NL. Never mind.
Not here. Yeah, Yoshi is away from his keyboard right now.
This is what happens when you get a 2-hour match. This shit happens. This is awesome, to be honest. A lot of people hate home away. A lot of people hate home away. They say there's no intensity, it's just stomps. But can you really say that? I don't think so at all. This is probably the fairest home away match we've ever seen because most home away matches end in regular time, right? These teams are evenly matched. Wow, this is I don't even know what to say. I'm glad to have been a part of this.
Yeah, no, it's a spectacle. It's a special match for certain, and that's what you want from your finals, right? You want a special match. And that's what we've got here. But there's been some problems with the management, but ultimately this round system is making it tense, so we've got to enjoy that.
I gotta say it's a lot of fun, and I forget, are we in EU? No, we're in NA.
We're in NA right now.
Round. Yeah.
We've just finished 2 in EU, which NA almost won. They almost won both of those rounds. I think no, they almost won the first one, right? Yeah, not the second one, but yeah, we're back in NA now. Both teams going to the mid. NA with a 6 infantry setup, I believe. Yeah, 6 infantry from NA. The fight's going to start straight away. No time wasted. Both teams pushing in.
And I've disconnected from lag.
Alright, the fight's happening anyway. France with an early advantage. France with 2 kills up. France 3 kills up. France are going to win this round. Is that the match over? Cow with something back, but I think France are going to win. Thunderbu's internet has died, and NA has lost this round, so I believe that means that France win. Yeah, France.
That means
France have won the match.
No, France has to win round 4 on EU, or NA has to win.
No, it's over apparently. Everyone believes France has won, so I think they have. I don't know what. I have no idea what the score is. I have no idea what has gone back and forth, but France have won apparently. So yeah, unfortunately Thunder has disconnected, so we have to wait for him to come back before we discuss post-match about what went on today. But that was a very long match. It's taken 2 hours, lots of close rounds back and forth. NA almost winning multiple rounds on the away side. 3 or 4 rounds that NA definitely very nearly won on the French side, but they didn't manage to do it first. The French guys
just
won
made it
around
back in
first.
time to see the defeat, and this is pretty sad. If you're NA, you're kicking yourself. You drew that first round where you should have won, and you're definitely looking at a lot of those rounds you lost.
Yeah, they drew the first round, and then there were multiple Winterberg rounds where NA were up, and where NA were up hard, and where they could have won, but they didn't manage to do it.
And I guess we'll just wrap this up quickly. I think we'll do an interview or anything.
Yeah, you're still lagging a little bit, actually, Thunder.
For sure, my internet has hit the fan. I live in a house of like 14 people with one internet connection, so this is to be expected.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah, NA not managing to close it out, despite so many rounds that NA almost won on that away side. France win the first one away, and they take the dub.
You can't help but imagine things may have been differently if they played on UK, but this is the reality of the match, and we can't really go back in time. But I think all we can say is huge congrats to France on their second win. Huge congrats to NA. That I think that proved everyone wrong. Very competitive team.
That was a brilliant match. Very close, right down to the wire. Both teams almost winning it. It's got to feel bad for the NA guys, knowing that they were so close. They were so close. So many times they were so close, but they didn't manage to do it. So this is where we are. People asking for a Watley interview.
There's nothing to say to him. I think he made very poor decisions here, trying to cover his own tail to gain more favor with the EU crowd after his supposed mistake with the Poland match. But that is life. Huge congrats to France. They deserved it at the end of the day. They won. I wouldn't, I'm not going to say the NA team they only lost because of the server situation. It'd be almost the exact same as saying like the Poland situation. But huge congrats to NA for playing real, and obviously huge congrats to France. They won. They broke the curse. They broke the curse.
Yeah, France did a brilliant job. Holding on those clutches from France. I mean, we look at it from the perspective of NA saying they threw, but we also got to look at it from the perspective of France and saying they clutched like 3 or 4 rounds with their core players, Maximo, Peter, Brian Thor, those guys clutching those rounds in really difficult situations. And in the end, even though they almost lost a few times on their home server, France, they did it. At one point, they managed to do it.
Yeah, they managed. But I guess we'll just sign off for now. That's been a very long match. I think everyone wants to get to their daily, normal activities. So, guys, huge thanks for watching. Huge thanks for tuning in. This was an awesome match. Huge thanks to the teams for putting on an amazing show. Huge thanks to Def for recording and streaming to you guys. Huge thanks to Gibby for coming out to commentate.
It was a pleasure to be here.
It indeed was a pleasure. So I'll just sign us off. This has been Bladecast TV. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night.